All right. Looks like we're all set up here. I should probably grab my microphone so you guys can actually hear what I'm saying. You know, unless I did something stupid again where the microphone's not plugged in, but I am seeing audio waves, and that's a good sign. So, how's it going, everyone? It's been a little while, actually. How many days has it been since I posted? I guess it was Thursday. Not as long as I'm thinking, but it feels like it's been a long time for me. Yeah, we are back here, doing some more Breath of the Wild. I will give it just a quick second to make sure everything's going okay. While I do that, I'm actually going to be looking up a few side quests, because there are a couple of things I want to get done in this stream, that we haven't been able to do since. 3 days is so long. Yeah, I'm definitely not getting the days right, man. I don't know, I think it may have been like a symptom of the whole Fire Emblem video. I feel like that video came out on Monday and that feels like a long time ago, but I completely forgot about the pit video. So, you know, I'm glad that that was able to come out. Yeah, so I'm sure you can probably tell by the thumbnail and by the title. Last week I ended up putting a community tab poll up. Yeah, a community tab poll, that's what those things are called. And you guys decided that you wanted me to hunt Korok seeds this time. And, you know what? If that's not interesting to you, that's your own, that's your own fault. I didn't choose to do this. So I am taking all responsibility away from myself. So that's going to be our quest for today. The other thing that I want to do, you know, just for the sake of being able to do it, right? Being able to use all the Korok seeds that we get this time around, is I'm going to try to do the Hestu side quest. It's nothing super difficult, but it's just been a while since I've done it. And so once we do that, we can keep going back to visit Hestu, and from that point on, we can start upgrading our stuff, which would be quite nice, because we're running quite low on some of our inventory slots. I kind of forgot how low the shields were at first, you know? Anyways, looks like we are nice and ready to get started. So last time we left off, we just completed a shrine just to save our location. And I believe we were going to try to go into the Akala area here. You know what, since we're here already, I guess we might as well just start doing that. Just to unlock just a little bit more of the map, right? We're already this far, might as well complete our quest. And definitely sometime today, I would like to do some cooking. Because I keep mentioning that I want to do that in the streams, but then, like, I completely forget, man. We're going to do some cooking. I'm going to look up some recipes to just get some stuff that'll be helpful for us along the way. It does kind of feel weird. I guess it's been a while since I've played Breath of the Wild. Maybe that's why I thought that it's been so long. But you guys have seen me, I guess, 3 times this week, which is usually the goal. Just on another side note, I know today is not Saturday, today is Sunday. At least, you know, in Eastern Standard Time, it's a Saturday right now. Or, excuse me, it's a Sunday right now. I can't even think today. I think, going forward, that's probably going to end up being the day for the streams, just because they kind of don't work a ton with the way that my work schedule kind of works out. So, like, IRL, right, I work, you know, Tuesday to Saturday. Usually my shifts on Saturday end around 7 p.m. and then I kind of just have to run home really quickly, eat dinner, and get right onto the stream. And, you know, sometimes I kind of run out of time to be able to get all that done. Sometimes it doesn't just work out well. But if I were able to do it on Sunday, I don't work on Sunday. And that gives me a lot more time to, you know, get stuff prepped. Today might not be the best of examples. I am running a tiny bit later than I wanted to. But that is okay. So I think from now on, I'll put up a post in case people end up missing this, you know? But just going forward, I think we're going to start doing the streams on Sunday nights. Probably around, like, you know, 6 p.m. Eastern. And again, we'll just run it for the 3 hours. I don't want to run it too long, because I know so many people have so many, like, commitments between... Oh, hello. There are a lot of people that have commitments between, like, school and work and stuff like that, you know, going into Monday morning. I don't want to make people, you know, miss that if they decide to tune into the stream, right? Anyways, long story short, that is what we are going to be doing here today. I do not quite remember too much about this particular tower. If I'm being honest with you, I kind of forgot that so many of the towers actually had little quests on the outside of them. Oh, speaking of hunting Koroks, if there's a rock up here somewhere, we can definitely use that and get us a nice Korok seed. Maybe that'd be a nice way to start us off. I'll look around here, but I don't quite see the stone. I mean, unless it's like somewhere completely obvious and it's like, oh, why did I not think of that? Is it somewhere down here? I bet you it's somewhere down here. Maybe we'll do that afterward. Right now, our big goal is just to get all the way up the tower and save our location, so we can always come back here afterward. I don't really like killing the wolves, but you know what? If you're going to try to intimidate me like that, you're going down. Alright, so we will make our way up. I definitely got to figure out a way to increase my stamina from the cooking, because I am not quite so good with cooking. I will admit, in my first playthrough of Breath in the Wild, like back in the very early days of me having a Switch, I didn't do a whole lot of cooking. I kind of just, you know, whatever the recipes were to get like the most health back by the end game, those were like the only ones I really remembered. Oh, I did not realize that would be all of my stamina. Great. Well, I guess we'll just have to use a Rivali's Gale then. Yeah, I don't know, just random stuff that I never really touched in the original game. I've learned quite a lot actually from just replaying the game and seeing so many different things that I never really encountered in my first playthrough. And I think that's kind of what I appreciate about this. It's not the same experience every time. You can absolutely play this game like a million different ways. And there are a ton of different solutions to basically every problem. Just depending on how far you've gotten and what you've gone and what you've seen and what you've become good at. There we go. Life story complete. Well, that was about the weakest jump I think I've ever seen in my life. You know, I think if we can, like, avoid the Guardians, this should not be too difficult at all. And I already see our first shrine that we can take down once we've gotten into the tower. Either way, today will be a lot about the Koroks. Yeah, I do want to get the Hestu side mission just so I can use the Korok seeds we've collected so far. And something that might also help us too, because I have the DLC, is I can try to look for the Korok mask just to give us another little tiny hint, you know, as to where everything is here. Okay, maybe for this part, the temperature is not too bad. Perhaps we can try and get into our stealth gear and sneakily take this guy out. Yeah, we're just barely gonna make it here. Okay, great. Well, that's not what I wanted. Aw, nothing in there, eh? And that is a pretty bad rusty shield, so I'm afraid we're not going to be using that. Welcome back, Shrek PFP. Alright. We will slowly climb nothing and make our way... Why on earth am I stuck in here? Can I really not get up? Okay. Sure, we're just going to pretend like that makes sense. Oh, there is a chest here. We might as well collect that while I'm here. Ooh, some bomb arrows. Those could be quite helpful. Come on, I want a pot with something in it. Having nothing in the pot is so sad. No, okay. I guess we're just gonna have to skip on that one too then. I never realized how, like, infested this was down here with enemies. We do not want to use the bomb arrow right away. Okay, so I'm just gonna go around here. Ooh, okay, he's got ice arrows. Maybe not the best idea. Okay, well that's not what I wanted to get out of that. So we will regain our stamina, and I will go and kick this guy's ass momentarily. Can't really fight up against us here. There we go. And we will try to make our way around. I did take the Korok hunting suggestion. Yes, that is going to be the main topic today. I just decided since we're already so close to this tower here, we might as well just collect it. Just for the sake of having that done. So we can teleport back when we need to. This might be a little bit tight, I will admit. Oh, wow, okay. Well, that knocks me out of free fall, which is not good. But this is exactly where we need to be to take this guy out. Sweet. I guess I'll take a momentary hit if it means getting up here unharmed. Nice, we got some more rupees too. And we didn't even have to sell anything to get them. That's pretty nice, man. Let's make our way around here. Oh, he hasn't seen me yet, so we can definitely... Oh, okay. That is not how this works, apparently. He can just turn around whenever he wants to, and I am no longer sneaky. Oof. That's a pretty harsh sound. It'd be a good idea to look for towers and... Yeah, I think that's probably the route we're going to go. I'm going to try, you know, at least for the duration of this stream. What on earth is going on here? So for the duration of the stream, we'll, you know, just go around, go through, get some shrines, get some towers, try to unlock as much of the map as we possibly can. And then that will be a little bit more set up for the next time we stream. Which, I mean, judging by what you guys say, I don't know what it's going to be yet. We could prepare ourselves for another Divine Beast, but if nobody wants that, then that is not what we're going to be doing. Ooh, that felt nice. That is what we are talking about here. Also, somehow within the last week, I did manage to get enough time to watch the Mockrock video. That is a very well-produced video. You know, it's a shame how long it is and how long it took him to put together, but my god. That is a very comprehensive Breath of the Wild review. And even in watching that video, I learned quite a few things about the game I didn't even know. So, you know, the more power to it. I've never actually gone and done like a full-on like video essay, and I don't know if I really ever will. I'm not, you know, the biggest scripted content guy. But we'll just have to see. Are we really gonna rain on my parade here? Oh, there we go. Okay. I definitely thought rain was gonna be a little bit more of a difference here. The thumbnail looks like it's in 140p. Interesting. That is kind of strange, because I know I do usually, I put my thumbnails up in 1080. But I don't know if I can change the thumbnail midstream. I likely won't be able to do that. Or perhaps I can. That's so weird. I've never had YouTube do that to me before. Huh. That's so strange. Okay. Well, either way, once this thing goes up as a video on demand anyways, yeah, it's going to be changed for that. That's just really weird. Like, every time I've set up a stream, I've done it the same way, and it always seems to work perfectly fine. I don't know what's up with that. Oh, it's fixed. Okay, good. So I guess I was able to change it midstream. That's good. Well, that is some helpful information to have for the next time I mess everything up entirely. Dean, hello. How's it going? So it looks like we got even more of the map unlocked. There's, what, 3 more towers I think that we're missing? And then we've got pretty much every tower unlocked in the game. Which will probably come quite a lot in handy. Okay, now if we just look down, I'm going to try and... Oh yeah, there's the shrine over there that I somehow completely misplaced. Right over near the location of that village that I'm forgetting the name of now. That's a side quest that we can do if we ever get to Hateno Village. But I guess it just depends, you know, what we end up feeling like we're doing. I'm surprised. Like, it seems like the Divine Beast streams, at least, are kind of pretty well suited for the 3-hour, you know, time I usually go ahead and stream. So we'll just have to see if that works here. I think the Fire Emblem vid is the closest thing I've done to a video essay. Absolutely. Between that one, I think there was another one I had done earlier on, but I can't really remember. I wouldn't necessarily call, like, the how to find your main video I did, like, you know, over a year, well, maybe not over a year ago, but, like, you know, sometime last year. I don't think I would really consider that one to be a video essay per se. Oh, yikes. Okay. So, lesson learned. That does not work. Yikes. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's true, though. Fire Emblem was definitely the closest to, like, doing a proper video essay. We'll see how I feel in the near future. I do find them interesting, and I like watching them for what it's worth, but trying to put one together, oh my goodness, it's so much effort. Oh, you know what? I'm dumb. There was a shrine directly beneath me over here, and I just did not even look into it. There we go. This time we should definitely survive the fall. Although I will say, I'm glad that these things glow red, because this rain is not helping whatsoever. Now, I haven't explored the east all too much yet, but I'm quite excited to do so, because I feel like a lot of the parts of the game that I remember happen to fall in the east of the map. Would you say it's harder than writing a real essay? Absolutely, because, you know, if you're writing an essay for a class or something, yeah, there's a certain expectation that you're gonna, you know, have somebody read it and get graded on it and whatnot. But trying to put together like a video essay, I don't know. There's writing a good, compelling essay and then being able to speak it and get that told coherently. Oh no, is this a motion control game? My goodness. Oh no, you know what? That was actually perfect the way it was before. I am not a fan of these motion control games, and this feels incredibly awkward to do. So if I slide that down, yeah, there we go. That is one complete looking puzzle. Yeah, you know, I completely forgot about the few, like, 3 or 4 motion-controlled things that there are in this game. I'm not looking forward to doing that, I will say. So I guess now we just go back and shoot it with an arrow. There we go. Gets us around this side. And if memory serves, I can just go back, shoot this again, and collect the chest. That was way too high, excuse me. There we go. Oh. Okay. What is this, man? Well, there was definitely a much easier way of doing that. Whoopsie. Looks like I'm also going to have to find some more arrows soon, because I'm running out of just standard arrows. But yeah, in terms of the whole, like, you know, video essay thing, for the most part, I would say that a video essay would probably be more difficult. I mean, it's nice to, you know, have the freedom of choice to write about... Oh, come on, really? Alright, I guess no chest for us today. You get the freedom to write about, like, much more stuff that you actually have interest in and care about and whatnot, but... I don't know, trying to put together something that's both compelling, like, from audio perspective and from a visual perspective, it's quite difficult. I thought I was the only one that only used normal arrows. No, I definitely feel that way too. And I believe... Oh, it's this one again, eh? More motion controls. That is exactly what we came here for. Motion controls, that feels exactly like a Zelda game. Okay. I don't know, it's incredibly difficult, and I feel like I'm not too great when it comes to reading a script. When I try to read from a script, it just kind of feels like I'm reading a script. And there are definitely better presenters out there that do a great job doing that. I feel like I'm just not one of those people yet. Oh, come on. You guys are, like, nudging the platforms. You can do it. Really? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Why? Why are there motion controls in a Zelda game? Why? Gyro is mostly functional, but like, something like this is just so frustrating. Especially when I feel like we were so close the first time. Like, I don't understand how those didn't connect, you know? Okay, let's get one isolated. Hopefully this doesn't end up lasting the full 3-hour stream. Knowing my luck, ugh. Oh man, okay. This is not going great, is it? Okay. Aim that downwards. There, we've separated them. It doesn't even matter. I'm just gonna start over. Okay, we're in a pretty prime position right now to get all 3 of them in. There we go. Now, just connect. Yo, you gotta be kidding me. Just do it. Oh, there we go. That is infuriating. As you guys saw, I had it the first time. And for whatever reason, it just didn't want to hit on the switch. Like, the lever didn't activate. And then I had to restart everything. I should switch to better arrow during combat for more damage. Yeah, I guess I probably could. If there are a few arrows that I'm like in super excessive, I'll probably switch to those ones. Oh, and we have a lot of Spirit Orbs. We should probably start spending those whenever we get back to a major village. I know the Hestu quest is like right outside of Kakariko Village, so we'll probably head back there at some point. But I know Hestu changes locations after you talk to him the first time. So we'll probably just have to do a whole lot of our inventory upgrading like up front then and there. Anyways, there's Shrine 1 completed. And there was our previous death. So from here on, I guess the next step to do would probably be just to get to more towers. And, you know, as we find the Korok seeds, we'll hunt them along the way. And that seems to be a good strategy so far. Just the more area we unlock on the map, first of all, like the better we're going to end up being in terms of like preparation for the rest of the game. Because there's a lot of stuff that we still have yet to do. We could also go to Lurelin Village for that one incredibly annoying... It's like the one Korok mission that I remember just being incredibly annoying, trying to throw the rock on top of that boat. Oh my god. That gives me nightmares every time I think about it. Let's see, I cannot see the tower from here, which makes me think it's in behind the Divine Beast. I'm not actually going to be, you know, going in here fighting the Divine Beast again. I don't exactly know why that's a thing you can do, but okay. So I'm just going to walk around here. We'll see if we can scope out where the tower is from here, but I don't quite see it yet. It's probably like way over this gorge here. That might either just be a rock or a very odd-looking shrine. Or it could be a little combination of both. I really don't remember, to be honest with you. Let's see. As it renders in, I guess we'll figure it out, won't we? That's looking like a rock to me. Yeah, nothing special about that there. You can't re-enter Divine Beast to like redo the challenge, but I know that you can go back and just do like a miniature like dream sequence boss fight against them again. Like you can refight the different blights. That I know for sure you can do. Yeah, and I don't quite want to do that because, you know, there's absolutely no point in wasting our resources and our time fighting a boss we've already fought, you know? I mean, maybe it increases, like, replayability and you can actually, like, access the blights again, but, not something that I'm super interested in. Oh, is it during the DLC that you can do it? I didn't know that, actually. I mean, I know that you you go through, you recomplete some more shrines, and then you get to do something for each of the champions. I don't know. It's been such a long time. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we can do that at some point later on. Like you know, get all the champions' ability pluses and whatnot. Oh, we got some rocks that we can roll around in a circle. Something tells me that this probably gives us a Korok seed. So let's see. We can either push that, or I guess let's try and stasis it. I'm not going to go too, you know, buck wild on this thing, because I don't want to have to redo this thing again. And we'll launch it directly forward. And look at that. That is not a slam dunk. And I also don't want that rock to go too far. Alright, I guess we'll do the lane push. You guys wanted this, right? Okay, we're going to stasis this. I don't think this is getting us anywhere anytime soon. Okay, well at least it's back on the cliffside. This should be a lot easier. Apologies for the noob tactics. I am not particularly what you would call an epic gamer. Come on, get it in the hole. You can do it, Link. You've done this before, right? Oh, Lord. That should probably be enough. I'm not going to go and push it any further than that. I don't want to have to redo this. Oh, look at that. Slam dunk. And there's our first of many Korok seeds. Nobody wanted to watch us find Korok seeds. They wanted us to suffer. That's fair. That's quite fair indeed. But you know what? Sometimes I suffer to let people watch. Because for whatever reason, us humans have this weird psychology where watching other people's pain is somehow comforting. So thanks, whoever created humans. Still no sign of the tower. I wonder if it's over near the, near that snowy area. Oh, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, now that I remember the area that we're in, I believe there's a memory around here, is there not? I don't remember if I'm able to actually check those out, though. Do I have to go to Hateno Village and get the camera yet? Or is that something that's already on my slate? I don't quite remember. You know, I think I was able to see a camera roll, so maybe we do have access to the memories now. And if we do, that's great, because we can go back to Kakariko Village after and get the Champion's Tunic. And we'll be able to see the more iconic version of Link. Let's see, is there a little something here? There's usually a little indicator to tell you that you're near a memory. But perhaps not. This might not be it. We might have to go and access the camera. Oh, and we see our first Lionel. That's a first for this run, because we completely were able to skip it before. I mean, it's a pretty low-level Lionel, so I'm fairly certain we could take it down. Well, he's seen me now. I don't think there's any going back from that. Alright, well now that this is our case, perhaps we should switch to some more powerful arrows. Bro, are you kidding me? How did that not activate Flurry Rush? Are you kidding? What is this? Alright, there we go for trying something new. That's what happens when you go off the beaten path, folks. I do really want to take the Lionel out, though, because I know they usually have some really strong equipment. Yeah, it's suffering time. You know, maybe if I approach him from midair, maybe that will give us a little advantage. Okay. Okay. Oh, so he does have a bow, too. Yikes. Alright, come over here, my dude. What, you scared? There's the flurry rush we want to activate earlier. What on earth is this? Now it's working for us? Okay, there we go. Let's see if we can maybe even mount and take a little bit of health off that way. Okay, maybe now that we're a little bit distanced from ourselves, we should probably consume some food. I don't like wasting something like this so much, but I think the extra hearts might be worth it. Okay, so let's switch over to another sword. Ooh. That was quite close. Okay, getting another flurry rush in, that's exactly what we need. Just whittle his health down a little tiny bit. Not gonna get much out of this one, I don't think. Yeah, because my weapon is gonna break yet again. Ooh, geez, that was close. Luckily, this is a one-handed club. Whoa, excuse me there. Excuse me there again? Am I forgetting the Lionel encounters here? Since when have they had Flame Breath? Okay, well this is not getting any easier. I was lied to. Although I do really appreciate it. I like how a lot of the very early Lionel encounters are actually just that difficult. Because, you know, later on these things can be a piece of cake to actually take out. When you start your run, like, you are not prepared for it whatsoever. Let's get a couple of face shots in while we can. Okay, perhaps that was not the best of ideas. Alright, flurry rush in. That could just be it, eh? Yeah, as soon as I turn on Breath of the Wild, that's when the flame breath comes back. It was not programmed into the game whatsoever. It was just somebody trying to mess with me. You know, I'm surprised something like that would trigger a flurry rush. I'm not going to complain about it though. I could use as many of these as I can get. Oh, there we go. Get us some nice lift. Let's shoot him before he shoots us. Or perhaps not. Oh, get us out, get us out, get us out, get out! Oh my god. Things are getting very close here. Okay, so apparently I couldn't flare rush there, but I was able to do it before. Okay, run, get us some distance. There, that's what we need. Oh, jeez, that was close. Alright, now get us a little headshot. Or not. Man, this timing is so weird. Pick up some wheat, don't mind if I do. Look, I know we can take this guy down. He's nothing. Oh, hold up here. Okay. What am I doing? I need to switch to a sword so I can flurry rush him. Okay, there we go. He's down to like tiny little chunks of health here. I don't think he has much left in him. Wow, what is this? Okay, bomb arrow, bomb away. Alright, now's not the time. This might be it. Oh, my god, there we go. Okay, first Lionel encounter of the game. Taken down, and it only took, what, 3 tries? Certainly could be worse. Ooh. You know, the early Lionel swords are not that great, but the bow is quite nice. Okay, we will chuck one of our more useless bows. Yeah, why am I shooting with this thing? My god. I didn't realize I had such a weak bow equipped. Okay, we'll equip something a little bit more powerful, but there we go. First encounter out of the way. We also got ourselves some hearty food, so we will be able to recover some of what we lost. Oh, that's always a nice feeling. Like early in the game, when you defeat a Lionel, it's quite a nice feeling. Because you know, later on in the game, yeah, you can absolutely do it with like no challenge whatsoever. Ooh. Hello, welcome back. Welcome back, Joker. In case you missed it, we actually did complete our first trial of strength here. We took out our first Lionel in the stream, which is a very nice feeling. I forgot how much snow completely slows you down in this game. You know, while we're wandering here, yeah, we are quite far off the beaten path at this point. There's got to be somewhere we can access the tower fairly soon. And I will definitely have to heal. Lionels are tough for sure, man. Like, this early into a run, yeah, they're actually quite a formidable opponent. I remember the first time doing the... what was it? The Ruta one? You know, there's the, like, somewhat mandatory Lionel encounter that you get there. Which, you know, at that point in the game, you've probably never encountered another Lionel before in the game, so... when you actually try to fight up against them, yeah, they can be one hell of a fight. Oh, and I think I see our tower. I don't know how I missed it earlier, but that's where we want to be going to. Alright, let's take off, get some speed. Get interrupted by the rain. That's what we want, right? I'll do my best to get to a high point, but... luckily, we do have a couple Rivali's Gales left, so in the worst case, as kind of game-breaking as they can be, at least that'll help us get up the tower. We'll just make our way down. I think we can also collect a memory somewhere in the ruins here. Unless this is the wrong ruins I'm thinking of. This might be the one near the end of the game. Or the end of the story, I suppose. You know, there's not really particularly an order that these things go in, but in terms of the backstory of Breath of the Wild, it's one of the later ones. So we can absolutely try to get some of those done, too. Those guys are awake, so I might not want to deal with them right now. But that's no matter. The more towers we complete, the more on track we'll be to just getting everything complete here. Oh, there's a moblin sleeping there. Okay, let's use our stealth armor, just sneak up and whack him from behind. And if it doesn't one-hit him, it's definitely going to take him out on the next hit. There we go. Bye-bye. Not very exciting drops, but what can you expect? It was a pretty easy encounter. Bye-bye. You tried your best. Alright, now let's make our way up. We can use some Rivali's Gale if we really need to. Ah, yes, this one's covered in bramble. So I guess it's a good thing that we do have Rivali's Gale. That'll definitely help us get around some of the intended difficulty of this tower. Oh, that's not quite high enough, eh? Well, you know, from here, I don't think it should be too terribly difficult. I think this is usually supposed to be one of the first towers that you get in the game, you know, just after completing, like, the dual peaks. Saying burn it. I could, but I do want to conserve my resources. Plus, the top of the tower is, like, right there, is it not? Yeah, there it is. Here, let's just take a couple jumps. There we go. All the way at the top, another tower complete. So I think that leaves 2 left to go. Honestly, not bad for the start of a stream so far. Look at that, we're getting even more complete. Alright, so now how are we going to be looking after this? Beautiful. All right, well that's a lot of area covered. This tower gave you PTSD. I think especially if you find it early on, yeah, it could probably be very difficult. But being able to skip so much of it just because of Rivali's Gale, it definitely helps. Okay, so what do we have here? A couple of interesting places we can go. So Kakariko Village was over here. I believe Hateno Village is somewhere in this area. When I started Breath of the Wild, I had no idea what to do, so I got every tower before doing everything else. That's pretty fair. I think, you know, just having as much information and as much access to information as you can, usually that yields some good results. Oh, actually, Hateno Village is just right there. Haha! If only I wasn't so silly and, like, speculating, I could have just, you know, immediately flown to it. Because that's how we do it, right? You know, I guess while we're out and about, too, we can also try to chop down some wood and get enough wood to start building our own house. That would be quite nice. Just a little comfy, cozy spot for Link to hang out. And I'm fairly certain the game just stuttered there somehow. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before, but yeah. Yeah, that just happened. And there is a shrine nearby. Yeah, there's a shrine right near the entrance to the village, so you don't have to do this every time. Probably got every shrine too? Oh, more than likely, yeah. You know, I found it kind of satisfying. I'd like getting through all the shrines. I thought those were kind of fun. Oh, as long as there's no rain in here, I think everything will be okay. Yo, what you doing? You trying to threaten me, my dude? Yo, what is it with all the general racism in this game? Yeah, Hylians are usually good. But if you're one of those damn Grons, you get the hell out of my village. I got all the shrines in a week. Oh, fair enough. I think back when I first got my Switch and I really didn't have a whole lot going on, I was able to complete Breath of the Wild, I think, within the span of a month. That's like the fastest I've ever really completed the game. But I only ever did the one playthrough, and it kind of sucks that you can't just, you know, completely restart everything. I kind of wish that it supported multiple save files, but there's just so much data for you to keep, I kind of understand why. You can always just make a separate account and just do that. That's what I'm doing here. No way am I deleting all the, like, 130 hours I put into Breath of the Wild. Are you kidding me? Oh no, is this another motion-controlled one? Oh no, it is. Oh my god, after going 4 streams without it, all of a sudden it's just, yeah, here's every motion control thing that you can imagine. Okay. So, this should be a load of fun, shouldn't it? I also kind of wish that you could change the camera angle while you're doing these things, because, like, at some points it gets really awkward. Like, I want to be able to see where I'm going here. Like right there. I would have loved to have seen that. Come on, you can do it. Well, this has been a fun stream, everybody. Tune in next week when hopefully I finish this puzzle. Imagine a restaurant in Hyrule. No Gerudo, no Rito, no Zora or Goron. Or Goron, excuse me. I could probably see it with all the blatant racism going on here. Oh, come on. Can I, like, cheese it somehow? Is this actually a valid strategy? Oh no, I bet they never saw this coming, did they? Turn it upside down. Look at us. We've solved the puzzle. Oh, that was so close. Okay, this time we got it. There's no way. Oh, come on, we can do it. I can't believe they didn't think this one through. Oh, that's not enough. No, okay. It's so hard to actually figure this out. Yo, we did it! We did it! Was that our intended path? Was that how they wanted us to do it all along? Let's line this up properly so I can also get the treasure within. If that's how that works. I can't believe that's how you can actually solve this thing. Oh my lord. Let's see. We'll want to lower that a tiny bit more just so we can hopefully jump in and have access to the... Oh, it's not going to let me. Okay. Oh, that's a game over. Well then. Stupid depth perception. Well, don't tell us we have to redo this. Ah, okay, whatever. That was fun enough, I'll do it again. You know, sometimes it's not about whoever does it best. It's about whoever does it the smartest. Ooh, hello, we are in the middle of cheesing a shrine for the second time. Oh, that was so perfect. Are you kidding? There's no way I didn't get it. Work harder, not smarter. Oh, yo, are you kidding me? That is so unfair. I hate that shrine. You know, I never thought about this the first time I played Breath of the Wild. I actually thought to be like 100% legit about it. But now that this is like a way that I've been able to beat it before, I don't think I'm ever going to do this shrine the same way again. There we go. Look at us. Masters of the cheese. That is far too high up. I don't actually remember how they 100% intend you to get into this thing. I'm hoping it's something like that, because I do want to get the chest. Though admittedly, it's probably going to be full of stuff that I don't really need. What do we got in here? What can help us in this chest of ours? You know, that's actually not too bad, except I think most of our other bows are stronger. So as good of a weapon as it is, I think I'm going to just have to pass for now. Yeah, this shrine's got nothing on us. And I was not looking at my meter at all, so we are just going to slow crawl our way and get our 16th Spirit Orb. Oh my god. That's actually too funny. I'd love to see how many different ways you can cheese stuff like that. Man, I can't wait for the golfing shrine. That one's so fun, isn't it? Alright, so then we can actually get back to doing some of the story, quote-unquote. I think we'll get access to our camera in the Hyrule Compendium, or whatever it is. That'll be nice to have. Not that shrine. Oh, the golf shrine gives everyone PTSD, doesn't it? I don't know. The motion controls can work fine for something like pinpoint aiming and such with the bow. But just like try to confound it into these dumb minigames, and it's like, this is so not Zelda. Well, on the bright side, it's not raining, which means that we should have a pretty easy time completing the whole Walk of the Torch thing. Because yes, isn't it great that the weather can completely mess this mission up, and it can turn it from one of the most simple things that you do in the whole game to one of the most miserable experiences in the game. You know, it's kind of interesting too, because I remember the first time playing Breath of the Wild too. Up until I saw videos talking about what you can do in the game and like stuff to do after you beat Ganon, I didn't even know there was an option for you to own a house in the game. Like, I somehow just completely missed that every time I went to Hateno Village. So I found that out after the fact, and I'm like, wait, what the hell? This is like part of the game? How have I never heard about that before? So yeah, hopefully we do this, we can start checking out the memories, we can get that sweet Champion's Tunic, the iconic one, and then from there all will be okay. Ooh, good day. I don't know if I'm just missing something here. Alright, skip through the... Yeah, there we go. So I guess I can upgrade all of my stuff here too. I think I agree with that too. The whole depth perception thing is kind of difficult. Like, why could we not control the camera during those puzzles as well? Alright, let's get on with this. Epic. A nice stance there. Should have made it 3DS exclusive. That would certainly help with the depth perception. Alright, come on. Get us through the dialogue. Give us our stuff. Oh, hold up here. All right. There we go. Now it's time to do the Walk of the Flame. Luckily, not very difficult without the rain. Oh, I think the flame starts at the top of the thingy, does it not? The observatory, if I can use my words correctly. What do I have that's flammable? I got a vocal club I could use. That's perfect. Oh, perhaps that's not the case. Am I really just missing something here? Like, I feel like this shouldn't be so difficult to lock down, you know? Oh, it's the other way around. Haha. So we just have to walk the flame from the village in here. Okay. The map would just be the Great Plateau with loading zones every 100 meters. Yeah, the 3DS was definitely not built to handle something like this. As much as I love that little thing, I don't think it could pull off something like Breath of the Wild. What's my favorite thing about Breath of the Wild? Honestly, I kind of just like the freedom of motion that you have in the air. Like, I love being able to run around with the paraglider. To me, at least, I feel like that's my favorite part of the game. Oh, man. Okay, how many of these little things do I have to light up? It's like all the way down here, isn't it? I don't know if you necessarily even have to light them up or if it's just like to help you carry the flame in case of the rain. Either way, I remember doing this thing the very first time in the middle of the rain. I don't know why I didn't just decide to pack my bags up for the moment and continue later, but that's where I stood at the beginning. I remember being like very purist of mine, like, you gotta complete the story first before you do anything else, right? And then I realized, oh, there is a lot more story than I am giving this game credit for. Alright, epic. So we got a few side quest dudes here. A few NPCs that might... Oh, okay. There goes my bow. Alright, I don't have a torch anywhere nearby. I wonder if I can just find like some other wooden material. This might be a small pain. Alright, come on. Stop getting me stuck here. I need to find me some stuff that will help me with this quest. I guess I probably should have known to keep putting the bow away or the club every time. But that's one of those things that just kind of slips my mind, you know? I'm sure there are some like pretty simple enemies that we can just beat up on the way here. Probably have some very weak clubs and bows and stuff like that. We'll be able to make our way through. Oh, sweet. We got a cricket. And a frog. Because this is the kind of stuff you do when you're exploring, right? Is you just mess with the wildlife. Okay, well, it's not quite wooden, but maybe it burns. Unless this vocal club does that, and I'm just dumb. Ooh, that was a solid hit. Ho! Ho's mad! Ho's mad! Well, you know what? As far as I know, I don't think the hoe is gonna necessarily help us out here. Though while we're here, we can use the axe and chop down some wood. Though I'm afraid it might take a while to actually get enough wood to do the quest and get our house here. I'm one of those people that'll 100% a game before beating it because I expect the final boss to be hard. That's, oh, it's good to have a Korok leaf too. Those could be quite, those could come quite in handy. I definitely feel that way too about a lot of video games, but then that's kind of changed my perception since Breath of the Wild. Because Breath of the Wild is very anti that, you know? If you go and 100% the game, then the final boss actually just gets easier, which is strange to me. Like, yeah, I suppose it makes sense. It helps you get more accustomed to how the final battle is going to go. I don't know, it's just very anticlimactic that you basically have like half of a Ganon fight if you go through and actually complete the game, because it doesn't feel like it should be that way. Ah, there we go. Okay, we have a spear. I know we saw a few sticks on the ground. As much as I don't really want to toss away some of my better weapons, I might have to, depending on how long it takes us to get this flame across. Oh, I have played Breath of the Wild. No need to worry about spoilers, at least not for me. Wow, you know, I went all the way down here, thinking that it would be very hard to find some enemies outside of Hateno Village or not. And here are a bunch of enemies that are using all the wooden weapons that I said I needed to use. And yet I did not stumble across them somehow. Oh well, you win some, you lose some, right? But yeah, most of the time I feel like when I play a game, I at least try to 100% it. In the olden days. I think maybe around the time that I completed Breath of the Wild, I don't think the whole speedrunning thing was quite there yet. Like, there were certainly speedruns, but like there have been a lot of optimizations to Breath of the Wild since the first time I played the game. And it's kind of nutty how broken some things have gotten. Like, you know, just seeing clips of people trying to do like bomb winding and hopping on and, like, you know, doing all this crazy stuff with stasis. It's very interesting to see how the game's progressed. Oh geez, I was gonna say for a second, I thought I saw like something wooden on the ground. Like, if I really wasted all my time just to get a bow, only for it to not matter in the end, that would be quite annoying. I think I will have to go pick up a torch at some point though, because I know those can be quite important. Plus, if we want to make it to the middle of the Lost Woods, I know we're going to need one too. Okay, so hopefully giving that a little bit of a break lets me climb a little bit higher with it. Because I don't want to have to keep starting and stopping every time one of my wooden things breaks, you know? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, if that wasn't a bruh moment, I don't know what is. I mean, aside from the stream dying, but we're not hoping for that this time around. Things actually seem to be going okay this time. Okay, there we go. Now we'll set it alight again. There we go. You know, I think the first time I played the game too, I didn't realize that I had to go and turn to get up this hill. Like, yeah, kind of stupid in retrospect, but what can I say? The first time through any kind of game, you're very much running through it blind. Like I perhaps may be right now. Oh yeah, I just have to not go up the beaten... Don't follow the beaten path or whatever that is. Whatever the saying is. I don't know how these things work. And it's a real shame that you can't run up these hills though, because that would save us so much time. Okay, we're going to go up this way. Well, this is going to take quite a long time. The thing the thing I like most about Breath of the Wild is how the game brings you to your horse in the final boss. Does it actually? I genuinely didn't know about that. Because the first time You have got to be kidding me. Did that really just happen? Oh my lord. Well, okay. I guess that's how it's gonna be. I guess it's just gonna rain. Great. Alright, I guess while I'm waiting, I'll try to collect some wood. I guess I might as well use the Lionel sword for that. You know, what did I say? As soon as I try to go up my way up the hill, that's when it starts raining. It's like it's listening to me, and this is just not fair. Yeah, that is a bruh moment. Well, we're getting a good collection of wood going so far. I think we'll definitely be able to get a house going at some point soon. I think it's 400 rupees you need to build that foundation in, or to buy the land, whatever the whole plot progression roadblock is. We'll be well on our way there. Yeah, 17 pieces of wood. This is nothing, man. Oh, I didn't want to talk to you, old man. My bad. I just wanted to cut your tree down for wood. Have I ever played Geometry Dash? I don't think I was necessarily too big into it, but I remember my brother playing it a whole lot back in the day. It was probably one of the very early, You've been watching the stream a full minute behind. Whoopsie. Is that bruh moment number 3? Yeah, I remember my brother was really big into Geometry Dash. I remember back then, I mean, I know it's not exactly the same game, but I was pretty big into the Impossible game. My internet just sucked. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Internet is not even reliable in 2021. That is the saddest thing that has ever happened to humanity, perhaps. But yeah, I remember getting into the Impossible game. It's a very similar game. I think Geometry Dash added like a lot to the formula of the Impossible game. But that one was a lot of fun. I don't mind doing too much damage to the Lionel sword, even if it is a pretty good weapon. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay, I was gonna say, I thought that was a torch for a second. It's like, have I really been wasting all my time for nothing? Okay, what's our next weapon I want to get rid of? I guess I'll just have to use a claymore for now. Unless that rusty sword might be able to chop things down. I'd prefer to keep the durability of some of that other stuff for later. Well, hopefully a rusty broadsword will still slice wood. Oh, it's just a couple hits. Okay, that's not too bad then. I have fun playing the Impossible game too. It's a great game to get lost in. Yeah, I really like it, and I find, you know, as frustrating as it can be to lose to something like the Impossible game, it really all comes down to your sense of rhythm. So that didn't even break the tree down? Bro. Man, where am I going to find something to chop me down some wood? Maybe I should have saved that, that wood pick, or what do you call it? I can't even think today. The wood chopping axe. I should have saved that for later. Well, it looks like all my time being distracted. It looks like the rain has somewhat stopped. So hopefully we can just continue to go forward, burning the Boko spear. And we shall be okay. It is kind of strange though, because I've never really found myself to be one of like a rhythm game type of person. But I do kind of enjoy, like, you know, just those little simple games where you just tap along to the beat. Okay, I was gonna say, at least it doesn't like completely reset my progress, because I'd seen a couple of these little empty stands here, and it's like, did I really? You can use bombs to chop down wood? See, this is something that I'm learning again, too. Okay, so we'll follow our path up. I know I got further than this. Oh yeah, so this was the last one that we had set up. Okay, and apparently I'm just setting all the wildlife on fire. Okay, so I guess that's something I'm going to have to try afterward too, is just try to bomb some of these trees. Because again, you know, there's so much involved in Breath of the Wild that you can have an entire playthrough and like not realize one of the simplest things. Case in point, exactly what we just learned today. Rhythm games are pretty easy to pick up and they're fun. Oh yeah, definitely. I'm not super big into them. Like, it kind of takes a specific rhythm game for me to get into. I know, you know, games like Friday Night Funkin' have been, like, pretty popular lately, at least in the YouTube scene, like the Twitch scene, stuff like that. I don't know. I find those types of games, like, at least somewhat interesting. There. That's what we're talking about. Oh, and we can even travel to the lab now. That is epic, gamers. Snap! Wow, that's awesome. I've never heard of Rhythm Doctor before, but if it's anything along a similar line, I'm sure it's pretty popular. Oh, very nice. Okay, so I guess now we might be able to access the different areas where the memories lie, which is going to be kind of interesting. It gives us something extra to do. It's kind of sad, though. I feel like I've kind of clickbaited the Korok hunting thing. That's not what we were going to do the whole time, obviously. But it can be definitely kind of fun. There are a few locations of some memories that I kind of recognize from here. Oh, and the compendium. I don't even think I completed the compendium in my first run. There's just so much stuff to find in this game. It's our one-button rhythm game. That would definitely make it more accessible. Oh, excuse me. Have I heard of Rhythm Heaven on the DS? Pretty similar but unique in its gameplay. I have heard of Rhythm Heaven. Like, I've never played any of the games at all. But I know there's been like a lot of speculation, hype, stuff like that around like a Chorus Kids or a Karate Joe getting into Smash. That's mostly the context I know Rhythm Heaven under. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's a charming enough, you know, cool looking game. Never something that I've necessarily gone out of my way and tried for myself, but you never know, it could be pretty fun. Okay, so perhaps from here, you know, maybe if I was smart and I kept my location here, I could have gone back and just gotten one of those memories, but no matter. We could also just warp to Hyrule and go get that one near the fountain too. We'll get one of the memories, I'll get the Champion's Tunic, and then from there, we'll try to start doing some more Korok hunting as we find the next towers. And also, while I'm thinking about it, I will just quickly pull up another tab to try to figure out where the Korok mask is. I know that's not like the funnest thing in the world to just have to look up a location guide and stuff like that. But just for the sake of it, it's in the Lost Woods. Fair enough. Okay. So that might not be something that's super easy for us to collect right now. But, you know, we can always just make our way there. Now where are those ruins? I'm gonna have a quick look at the image just to see what's going on. Yeah, it's directly in front of the castle. I think it's this fountain over here, so we will head in this location here. We'll just fly our way over, we'll quickly go and collect the memory. And then all shall be good from there. Yeah, try to shoot me. You ain't gonna hit me. I'm moving too fast for you, dude. Oh great, and I just get to land right on top of some enemies. That's what we wanted. Oh man. I have a lot of respect for the people that can, like, you know, just start up a save file of Breath of the Wild and just instantly go right over to Hyrule Castle and just beat the game like that. You know, that is quite impressive, and maybe not a whole lot of people, you know, see the game that way. Maybe you might think cutting straight to the end is a little bit of a lost cause per se. But I think it can be very impressive. It's the same idea as like a speedrun, you know? I'm not super interested in speedrunning, but watching a player do like a really good speedrun, I don't know, something about it, it's just really interesting. Well, you know what? I said this was the Korok hunting episode. If there is a challenge to complete that has to do with Korok seeds, then I suppose we shall do it. And the only question is, what is that challenge? So I'm not seeing anything. I think these are usually like the shooting gallery ones or something. If memory serves. What's my favorite game genre? I personally like adventure games the most. That's a tough one. Because I feel like I like a lot of specific games from different genres, but there's not one that I particularly go to. I guess I would have to probably say platformer. That would make the most sense just for me at least. You know, a lot of the classic games that I really love come to mind. Stuff like a Banjo-Kazooie, Mario Odyssey, you know, Super Mario World, games like that. 2D, 3D, doesn't even matter. You know, any kind of platforming game I find very satisfying. Even something like Super Meat Boy and Cuphead. I know Cuphead's not necessarily a platformer per se. It's got some platforming elements to it, though. Okay, now where's my memory? Help me find my memory. Unless this is not the location, but that would not make a whole lot of sense now, would it? Good RPGs are good. I could definitely make the case for RPGs. Although I'm not too big into them myself. Oh, am I just looking at the completely wrong thing? I could very much be. And I've been spotted by our guardian, so I should probably get the hell out of here. Yikes. So I was completely wrong about that somehow. Oh, you know what? I think I might know what it is. I think that one might be near the Colosseum, if memory serves. We're gonna get out of here before this blood moon messes me up. I mean, there's some RPGs, like, I don't know. Would you count Pokemon as an RPG? Because that's about as far into, like, a full RPG that I've completed before. Yeah, I prefer it if a game, you know, doesn't waste my time with a whole bunch of grinding and stuff like that. I don't particularly mind grinding if the grinding is fun, but I don't know. I just don't want to repeat the same random encounters time in and time out. That's why I find it so difficult to get into the older Pokemon games, especially. Pokemon is an RPG. Okay, that's fair. I mean, I guess it's maybe like a very basic RPG, all things considered. I've never really thought of it per se as like an RPG, or at least I don't get the same vibes as like a, you know, a JRPG, like a Final Fantasy or a Persona, something like that. But I guess you are technically playing a role in the game. Okay, now what direction is this tower in? I don't quite remember. I also can't see it from this side of the map either. I know this is probably like the most scatterbrained looking playthrough you've ever seen. I'm just honestly trying to go off of memory. Maybe my memory's not the best. I would honestly not be surprised if my memory stunk, to be honest. Either way, in the worst case, we do have that other location to find the memories. We passed by it when we were on our way to the Lionel, so we could always just head back in that direction. There's another shrine there, but I don't think I want to go off the beaten path yet. I may possibly run out of stamina fairly soon, though. I will have to mark this on the map. Alright. Now just run and don't get murdered. Boop. Okay. So he survived that. Are they gonna follow me like all the way down here? Looks like they may possibly not be able to. They're just chucking rocks at me. So I used one head to beat in the other head. That's kind of fun. Alpha Dream was great, but of course they had to die. Oh yeah, the Mario RPG developers. I guess you could say like the Mario and Luigi games were like one of the other RPGs that I played, even though they're not super RPG-ish. Oh, what do we got here? This one's a shooting challenge, I believe, right? If I can find the target wherever that may be. Oh, you know what? This is one of those, I think it's a time trial one. Wow, that's very tight timing, isn't it? Either way, we'll get it later. Yeah, that news was kind of sad. I don't know. I remember playing a lot of Bowser's Inside Story as a kid. And that game was genuinely great. Like, you know, the way that they'd written the characters and, you know, the fact that you were actually able to play as Bowser for one of the first times in like a somewhat mainline Mario story. I remember that being a big deal. Although, funny enough, I've never actually played any of the other Mario and Luigi games. I definitely will give them a go at some point in the future, but, you know, it's just kind of a shame that they were always confined to being handheld games. Because for the most part, I just prefer to play on a console. I know, it's just a lot easier to manage when you're just sitting on the couch instead of having to, you know, hold the game screen up to your face, because that's also, you know, the screen and the controller are one and the same. Though I may just be kind of particular about that. I've got nothing against handhelds. I've owned, like, most of Nintendo's more recent handhelds. I guess if you count the Switch as a handheld, I own that too. But that's all dependent on who you talk to, right? I personally never really take the Switch out of dock mode very often. Even though I think it's a really great feature and that's a good way to sell it. I don't know, I much prefer to just be sitting on the couch and doing something like that, you know? I played Paper Jam first, but I can totally confirm Dream Team was one of the best. I've never actually tried Dream Team. I think I maybe played the demo for it back on the 3DS. But just, you know, for whatever reason, never ended up sticking with me. I think that was, you know, around the time that I kind of stopped playing games, so maybe that's why it, you know, fell off my radar. If I'm in a car or something, I'll go with handhelds, but consoles are the way to go. Yeah, I feel that. You know, especially as a kid who, like, grew up in, like, the mid to late 2000s era. You know, there were so many times where it's just like, yeah, this is basically your way of life. Can we... I guess we cannot pick up the Frozen Stone Taluses. So perhaps I might just have to beat them with a Flame Blade. Hit all of them in one shot? Maybe not. Man, is it like as soon as they touch me? That seems to be the implication. Man, these things are beating the hell out of me. Okay, you know what? I think we're just going to switch to fire arrows. I am not letting these things take me out. I've heard good things about Utopia, but Bruh. Oh my god. What is that, like 4 game overs this stream? I thought I was doing pretty good before, too. Oh, well, you win some, you lose some, right? Yeah, I've heard about Miitopia before. Like I never played the game per se. Oh, we're just gonna go all the way back here, are we? Well, that's fun. I think I'm gonna approach it from the other angle this time. I'm gonna go from the other tower on the other side, because maybe the tower might be a little closer from there. I've heard about Miitopia though, and like stuff like Tomodachi Life, these like, you know, little life simulator type games. They can certainly be fun. I'm personally not super into any of them outside of like say Animal Crossing. But I guess we'll just have to see, right? If what is it? Is it Miitopia or Miitomo, something like that? One of those games is coming to the Switch later this year. You know, if it ends up reviewing well and it looks cool, I may decide to pick it up. Okay, so while we're already here, just for the sake of it, I guess I'll just collect some of the shrines that I found before. I return. Welcome back. It's Miitopia on the Switch. Okay. I will have to keep that in mind, because I completely, you know, mix up those names all the time. Oh, hey, look, it's actually something that I can do with the Koroks. Although I may just have to wait for this blood moon to pass in order to actually do it. And I have no default arrows, yeah. That's kind of sad. Huh. I would recommend Miitopia to anyone. Huh. I might have to, you know, I might have to take a look at it. Miitomo, oh, it was the mobile game. That's what I keep thinking of. Alright, you get yourself over here. I don't have to hit these with just standard arrows, do I? Okay, no I don't. This might be a waste of the elemental arrows, but they're the only things I have right now. I think I keep underestimating with my shots and my arrows just how quickly these things actually fly by. There's one more balloon somewhere in this area, eh? Oh, there it is. There we go. Oh, maybe there's another one. You're asking quite a lot of me there, Korok. Sweet. Okay, there's another Korok seed out of the way. I do very much also appreciate how they will tell you, like, on the map which ones you've done already. That's something that I think is definitely going to come in handy if we really are, you know, going to be doing that many Korok seeds throughout the course of the streams. Because the very last thing I want to do is, like, use a Korok seed guide, get to somewhere, and be like, oh, but you've already completed that one, so your entire trek here was a waste of time. Stay back, no horny. Oh, I do remember. I think there is some stuff that you can do within the valley down here. That's why it's being heavily guarded down there. Oh, and look at that. That is one quick trip up to the to the shrine. Yep, because that's how the developers intended you to get here. The fact that they raised the price from $30 to $15 on the Switch port is kind of BS, yeah. Is it the exact same game, too? I'm genuinely curious, because I don't remember if they said there were going to be, like, improvements, or if it is literally just the 3DS game plopped onto the Switch, you know? Like, if that's the case, I think that's quite ridiculous. Oh, this is a major test of strength, eh? I don't know, we're more well-equipped than we usually are. We might be able to complete this one. We'll just have to see. I'll give it, like, one try, and if I do happen to die in the course of it, then I don't think it's worth it to try again. Let's see that health bar. I'm not going down all too much. Okay, so now's not the time to go after this one. They added horses and hair additions to make... Oh. Oh, they have 3,000 health. Okay. Good to know. Perhaps a little bit too late, but still good to know. So we are not going after this today. We are just going to, you know, nope the hell out of here and recomplete this when I have better stuff. Because that is the strategy we're going for here. Why put in the tough work when you can just cheese your way later? Now that being said, there was another... Yeah, there's a shrine somewhere along here as well that we might as well just go and collect while we're here too. Oh, I do remember this bridge. I don't quite remember what for, but there was something about it. Oh, you know what? This might be an area somewhere around where one of Kessa's hints is. I'm not going to bother with that quite yet. Indeed, that was a bro moment. I probably should not have tried to go for like a major test of strength yet. I'm certainly not at my fullest capabilities, and a lot of my weapons are very much outclassed. Man, I don't know. I feel like I'm just rattling off a lot of stuff that I just remember from my first playthrough, even if it's not true. I like tend to get so many of these different things mixed up because, like, how many bridges are there in the game, and how many stables, and how many ruins are there? There's so much in this game. There we go. We got yet another stable. Again, we're definitely going to want to get a horse. If I ever do actually end up getting a horse, though, you know, maybe I'll put up like a community tab post or something and just ask for name suggestions. I think that would be a fun way of interacting. Because these things aren't all just about me, you know? I never really got a horse like on my first playthrough. Oh, yo, you know what? I'm a complete idiot and I keep meaning to tell myself this like every time I stream. I have a Wolf Link amiibo and I've never actually used it before. So I'm curious what it would do. Like, I know you can access Wolf Link in the game and like he follows you around, but I don't 100% know what he does. Oh man, I remember this one to be like a physics-based puzzle sort of. Except I don't 100% remember. Maybe I have to stasis this thing? Is that the answer? No, I suppose not. Unless I stasis it and then shoot it in midair. That could be a solution. I don't know, unless I just shoot it out of the air or something like that. I could definitely give that a shot. Literally. Haha. Like and subscribe for more bad jokes. Oh, is that coming back at me? Oh, there we go. That's how we do it, baby. So now we go up over here. Woo! And we go into the chest. What's in here? That's definitely a little Z pun. I'll take it. I will take it. Or my 900,000 subscribers. I know you guys are out there somewhere. Oh, I see. I gotta make it through that little gap over there. Oh, I gotta shoot into that little gap over there. Look at me, using my my high intellect to figure out the puzzle to a children's game. There we go. That was actually kind of a fun little shrine, you know, just something to break up gameplay. I wouldn't mind more shrines like this where you gotta, like, you know, use your knowledge of the different runes and stuff. I suppose also looking at the title of these things might give me a little hint as to what I'm supposed to do, but we don't read. Reading's for school. I've been out of school for too long to read, man. Reading IRL? Nah. That's some weak shit. Oh, and you gotta love exiting to immediately be greeted with the rain. Okay, you know, just for the sake of making this quicker, I'm gonna head back. I'm gonna head back. BRB. And then we will go and do the reading is for school and for Smash. Get those reads, boy. That's the only time it'll ever come in handy. So yeah, we'll go back, we'll get our memory, we'll get the Champion's Tunic. That way I can see the amount of health on these Guardians, so I don't go into a major test of strength thinking that I'm any good at it. And then we'll pull out the Wolf Link Amiibo. That is our game strategy. For divorce papers. Karen left and took the kids. Man, life is unfair. Okay, I will drop a little tiny node over here. I think the memory's like somewhere around that location. Alright, don't want to be wasting our stamina, so I guess we'll just take our jump now. And we will begin yet another slow trek while we don't have a whole lot unlocked. We'll go through, we'll make our way through. Once we get back to Kakariko, I will also definitely, spend some of those Spirit Orbs, and we'll get some stuff done here. Your viewers are evil. Oh, for sure. For sure, there are some video topics that have definitely caught me a little bit of torture over the past. There's some sadistic shit going on in here. And they'll name my horse something that gets me banned from YouTube. God, I hope not. I really hope not. I'm not in the mood to get banned today. Alright, let's make our way up. We're making progress. I don't think I'm going to fight the Lionel again. As fun as it was the first time, I don't really need any of the stuff that he's got for me. Oh great, look at me. Keeping a great eye on my stamina meter again. Don't you love it when Link comes to a crawl? If I'm being honest though, I kind of wish that running was not tied to the stamina meter. Like, as much as that makes sense. God, it's just so annoying to stop running. Yo, he just took that spear like it was nothing. For that, we're gonna let you live, because you are obviously like a super goat or something here. You're saying I don't want to get banned like it's happened before. No, I've never done something so blatantly like against TOS or anything before. I've just got some really sick-minded individuals that, you know, try to get me to hunt Korok seeds for 3 hours. Alright, is that our memory location over here? I mean, unless it won't let me get the memory, but what on earth would be the purpose of that, wouldn't it? Right? Why wouldn't I just be able to go and check out my memory, huh? Do I have to go back to Kakariko Village to get that started? God. Alrighty. Alrighty, we'll go back to the village. Man, nothing like wasting 10 minutes of my life, right? Oh, you gotta love YouTube censorship. Oh, it actually lets it on this time. I'm surprised. Don't worry, guys. I'm not monetized anyways. I mean, no need to go crazy in the comments or anything, but no worries for demonetization right now. That'll come when I'm a big YouTuber. If that happens. Alright, we're finally here. Let's do one of my promises for a very long time, and let's just get us some upgrades. So I think I'll do maybe a stamina wheel. We'll see. I want to get 2 full wheels right now. That would be much appreciated. If I could get 2 full wheels, and then the rest I'll probably just spend on heart containers. Ooh, okay. So we're definitely going to have to do a little bit of grinding to get some more heart containers. And then from that point, we'll have our Master Sword on us. The one thing I also kind of find weird is that you can get the Master Sword and it becomes like a permanent part of your... Oh, whoopsie. No, I don't want a heart container. I also don't want to stop talking to you. Let me talk to you. I find it really weird how you just get to keep the Master Sword and it just regenerates energy over time. Whereas like the Hylian Shield, once you lose it, it's like, bye-bye. It'll definitely happen if you stay grinding, and that's the reason I'm no big YouTuber. Honestly, I feel like any day, like, something will just get randomly pushed out, and then it's like, yeah, there we go. That launches a career. Sad as it is, though, like, as much as the shorts really did launch me, like, it's just sad that YouTube still got them very much in beta, and, like, you know, they don't really do much for you. I feel like, if anything, shorts have kind of hurt some of the potential growth of my channel, but... That's a topic for another video if I ever get into it. We're not gonna call it Pussy Destroyer 69. As much as some people may like that, I don't think it's gonna happen. Okay, great. As if I need to know where that was. Okay. So how on earth does that work? Because I 100% swear that I could start recollecting my memories, but then for whatever reason it's like, nah, you don't get to collect your memories. What gives? What is this, man? Not to flex. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I feel like YouTube just randomly pushes out some videos to do really well and others, like, you know, kind of leaves them in the dust. One day I'll make a random video and get 3K views in 3 days. Yeah, it is kind of strange how that works, right? Like, some days I upload a combo quickie and it's like, it takes like a couple days to get 1,000 views. Sometimes it just pushes it out and, like, I go to bed, next morning suddenly has 6,000 views. It's like, what the hell happened there? YouTube can be, like, very inconsistent in the most weird, bizarre ways. What am I looking for here? I don't even know. Okay, I know I said I would do cooking. I'm not forgetting the cookie thing. Cooking thing. I cannot speak today, my goodness. I'm not forgetting about all the cooking that I have to do. However, there are some more pressing matters. I think some spots that immediately come to mind that I want to go are some of the labyrinths. Because I believe you can get some Korok seeds through there. Honestly, the first time I stumbled across one of the labyrinths, I was like, what the hell is this thing? It was genuinely a lot of fun, too. So yeah, maybe we'll go up there. Honestly, this isn't even so much of a Korok hunting stream. This just is more like a, you know, let's run around and see what happens for the next 3 hours. But that's part of the fun of the game, right? You don't need to stay locked and constructed to one thing. Well, thank you for making the Zero Suit Samus video for me already. You know, it is weird. Like, a lot of these characters I genuinely have never touched before. So I do find it somewhat rewarding to like be able to learn, you know, X, Y, Z about some character I've never like really touched before. I will say it's broadened my horizons on some characters, and a few of them that I've tried out so far are like, you know, characters that I would consider either like secondary or, you know, whatever you want to say, just pull out in a random battle. There are a lot of really fun characters in Smash Bros, and I feel like, you know, once you kind of hunker in and you find the one character that gels with you, you don't really use a whole lot of the rest of the game. Which, like, oh, controversial as it may be, I don't really think we need more DLC characters in Smash Bros. That could be an entirely separate video on its own, but I don't know. We'll talk about the future of Smash probably whenever Ultimate's all finished up. First time you saw the labyrinth, you thought it was a big box and tried to climb the outside. I don't even remember what I thought the first time, because I think the first, if memory serves, okay, the first labyrinth that I found was this one over here. I remember finding it like shortly after Rivali, you know, getting Rivali's Gale, and I remember just being like, oh, this is really cool, but I can just Rivali's Gale to the top and just, you know, get to the center of the map. Turns out that's not exactly how that works. They kind of saw that coming, I suppose. Ooh, do not want to land on the wolves. Oh, okay, speaking of wolf, yes, I said I would do the whole wolf link thing. Allow me to grab the amiibo. We'll do that, and we'll have some fun with it. Okay, wolf link, here we are. Alrighty, so got the Wolf Link amiibo. We'll give it a little test. I've never actually used it in Breath of the Wild before, but this will definitely be fun. Let's see, I am missing a little bit of chat, so let's do that first. Who do you think is the most fun character in Smash? I mean, just from my own subjective experience, probably Banjo. I mean, I genuinely love the I love the down B grenade. You know, as much as people are just going to be like, oh yeah, he's a Banjo main, of course he loves the grenade, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, I do appreciate how you have a few characters that let you grab weapons and like items and stuff mid-game. So yeah, it's pretty fun in that way. All my mains are from Smash 4, so I'll have to wait a while. Yeah, that's the case. You know, going character by character, I get it takes a very long time. We'll see though. If I ever do manage to get this channel monetized, that could be a real nice change of pace here. Might be able to go a little bit quicker. Oh, do I have to actually go and like manually change my settings to turn the amiibo on? Yeah, here we go. Great, the hidden Sheikah Slate ability. Why on earth am I grabbing the bomb? Let's just detonate that so I don't have to deal with it anymore. Let's see here. One of the best segues in the history of segues. You could call it that, I suppose. Here we go. We got Wolf Link. What's up, my dude? I don't quite know what you do, but you're pretty cool. Oh, so I guess I can get him to stay and get him to follow me. Okay. Well, how about you and I tag along and we beat the hell out of whoever we can find. Oh, the wolf segue. That's what that's about. Okay, that honestly just came to mind. Yo, I guess that was pretty slick. Most of the time, segues are not very subtle and quite on the nose. Let's see. I mean, I always say the characters I play are the most fun. That's true. Honestly, I think out of the recent characters that I've played, at least for the Combo Quickies videos, I have genuinely become a fan of Pit. There's just something so damn satisfying about like his neutral air and forward air and up air. Like all of his multi-hit aerials are really cool. Oh, geez, I was gonna say, what was that? I guess that is Wolf Link. Thank you for hunting for me, my dude. Did you just murder stuff and like collect random meat for me? That's also pretty useful. Have I ever played Kingdom Hearts? No, I have not, actually. From what I recall, Kingdom Hearts is mostly exclusive to the PlayStation's like consoles and whatnot. I've never actually owned a PlayStation console in my life, so never really got exposed to that. I know a lot of people are a fan because of the whole like Disney properties, but that's what kind of confuses me. It's just like a cross between like Disney and Final Fantasy or something like that. Very strange. Wolflink will guide me to locations that trigger this Sheikah sensor. Okay, so he can find shrines for me. That's interesting. Oh, is he gonna fight another wolf? Yo, Wolflink, please do not get yourself killed, man. You've only got 3 hearts. Yeah, get the hell out of here. Look at all this meat that I'm picking up. What do we have for mains here? We got a Ken, Bayonetta, Bowser Jr., Cloud. I love controversy, says the Ken main. Oh man, I don't know. I do enjoy me some Shotos every once in a while. Like filming the Ryu video was actually really interesting. You know, because I've never really took the time to play Ryu or Ken before. So, you know, having to play Ryu and Smash essentially for the first time for that video was actually kind of cool. Alright, let's get us a quick shrine over here so we have access to the Akawa stable from now on. I should try Kingdom Hearts. I think I would probably enjoy Kingdom Hearts more than like a Fire Emblem Final Fantasy type game. As far as I recall, they're like more action games or more, I don't know if it's right to say like an action RPG. Something along those lines. I've seen a little bit of gameplay. But we'll see. I wouldn't exactly call myself salty. Oh my god. The 3rd gyro challenge in the one stream. Oh my god, it's the golf one. I swear this is not a bit whatsoever. I had no intentions for this to happen. Yo, where's my orb? Give me the orb back. If you want to lose subscribers, I could roast every character. I certainly could. Okay. Are you gonna give me the ball back or no? Oh, I have to... You actually have to manually exit out every time you want to restart that? Oh wow, what a shot on the first try. Wii Sports, let's go. Oh, I don't know how I did that first try, but I am very appreciative that this did not go any longer than it needed to. Because God, sometimes this can take such a long time. Oh man. If I want to lose subscribers, I could roast every character. That is an idea that I have had in the past, like just doing another one of those sort of like, what your Smash Bros main says about you type videos. I genuinely think that could be a fun time. Oh, is there an entirely separate challenge back here to get the treasure chest? Oh, I remember this one sort of. Yeet. Oh, did that do it? Did that do it? Oh, let's go! I'm too good at golf. This is why I always got hole-in-ones in Wii Sports. We got it. Oh my god. So where's my reward? Oh, there's my reward. Sweet. Now I just gotta wait for the platform. Oh, I'm missing chat again here. I like playing as Ken sometimes. I love the things he can do with their ability to cancel normal attacks. Honestly, any of the characters that have the ability to cancel their moves, even someone like Terry, I find that really interesting. Because there are like so many really cool combos that I see people pull off. Oh wow, that was very close. I probably should not have done that in retrospect. There's a lot of really cool things that, you know, you can see people pull off using all those cancelable moves. I love watching people like, you know, do some random crazy like aerial Terry combo into a Buster Wolf. Like, that stuff is so cool, man. Oh man, let's see. Let's skip that cutscene. I thought Joker would be a Pichu main. I used to be, but since he is so light and dies so easily, I stopped. That and the nerfs, I definitely... I heard a lot of people talking about the nerfs early on when he you know, got completely murdered by Sakurai and the developers. You know, I know Pikachu has remained fairly top tier in Smash, like through the entirety of Ultimate's lifespan, excuse me. I don't know my words today. Pikachu has remained popular for pretty much the majority of Smash Bros. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's kind of to be expected, you know, considering he's like one of the better characters that's never received a nerf. Oh man, do I have any metal stuff equipped? I should probably be removing that just in case. Where's my updraft? Man, this is lame. I wanted to fly through the fire. If you made a technical character, you have no friends. Oh man, I don't understand how some people have so much time to pull that stuff off. Like, any kind of very, you know, technical involved character, I'm very impressed when people are actually, like, genuinely good with them. You know, I've tried characters like Peach and stuff before, and, like, I cannot do anything with them. I had to watch so many, you know, different tutorials in the making of the Princess Peach and Zelda, or Zelda, excuse me. The Peach and Zelda combo quickie video. I had to watch like a ton of different combos, or what am I even saying? You know, trying to do like the floating, whatever you call it, float cancel into aerials and stuff like that. I think out of all the different quickies, that's probably the video that took me the longest to film, because it took me like forever to get those combos down. And if I were to try to pick it up again, I could not do it for the life of me. Not to save my damn life. There's some genuinely really cool stuff that you can do with characters like that. I just don't have the time to get into that. Oh, I didn't even realize I had a weapon out, but that does kind of make sense. Oh, and Mr. Wolflink is gone too. We got to get him back in here. There. Come on back, my boy. What a good little lad there. Yeah, Pichu was pretty damn good pre-patch. Since then, I mean, as far as I'm aware, he's remained fairly solid, but just, you know, not nearly as good as he used to be. I only mean low tiers, Meta Knight, Mewtwo, and Byleth. Some of those are a little questionable. Like, they're not, obviously they're not like bottom of the bottom low tier. Maybe some more like mid-tier-ish, I guess. I'm probably not the best to be arguing about tiers, though. I know very little about that. Wolflink must have returned to his own world. What world is he possibly going to? What's he got to redo the plot of Twilight Princess again? Oh, I also hope I have enough height to make it to the labyrinth. I really don't want this thing to, like, run out on me short. This might also be quite a lot more difficult considering I do not have, we just get completely stopped over here. Okay, well, we do not necessarily have the ability right now to, you know, just fast travel up with Rivali's Gale. At least not yet, until the rain clears. But that's okay, we'll just have to make it through this little maze here. Oh, there is a big boy guardian over here. I don't want to, you know, get in his way. He does not look friendly. I never actually even noticed that on the mini-map there was an icon for the guardians, if you can, like, see that on there. Again, tiny little details that I've just never noticed before. If I zoom in close enough, I might be able to even just figure out the entire path there. That leads to nothing. I know we have to get back somewhere there. Man, don't you love solving the puzzles on the back of your cereal box? Oh man, I don't even know. I don't think there's a perfect solution to this, but I'm not on the right side right now. Oh yikes, there's a guardian. Well, at least the rain's gone, but you know, maybe too little too late if this guy tries to go after me. Wait, use Rivali's Gale. Oh man, excuse me. The way that I have the lighting in here set up, I can like barely read the comments sometimes too. Use Rivali's Gale to your right, and first gap and the ladder's there. Okay. It's unfortunately a little too bad that Rivali's Gale is like, you know, only one use right now. But that's okay. This is usually like all we need. As long as we can avoid the other guardians. Ooh. Too little too late. Yikes. I was definitely trying to parry that. Well, good thing we have Mipha's Grace, otherwise I would be quite screwed. And yeah, like I know there's a lot of different like random treasures and stuff that you can get through going through the maze legit, but do we really want to be doing that? Bonk, you're dead. Ah, perhaps I may have gone to the wrong spot, but we do get some treasure here, which is quite appreciated. Ooh, some more money. Maybe a little bit of down payment on some land in a beautiful Hateno village, perhaps? Perhaps, if I can speak English. If my voice doesn't give out on me. That is not the direction we want to be going. Unless it is. I genuinely don't remember where the entrance is. Oh, yikes. Well, you get lost there. Man, probably should have been putting the rubber suit on, but unfortunately I don't have all the parts to that quite yet. Oh. Okay, I'm seeing what this is all about now. I'm stupid and I forgot my face cam is covering the mini-map. Yeah, I don't think I'm climbing this wall right now. Okay. I might just, you know, do a little bit of peeking around, try to get some treasure. Ooh, that is a lot of choo-choos over here. And there they all go. Wait, what? Oh, okay, I guess that wasn't anything. Whoopsie. Yeah, that is a pretty dumb moment, I must say. I honestly completely forgot that that part's being covered up. Ooh. Too bad that's not a very good bow for us right now. Oh, and that's as far back as this goes. Okay. So, I guess for now, we'll just make our way across. Man, I do genuinely look forward to some of the late game stuff, like especially, you know, if we go through and do all the DLC missions and stuff like that around the end of the game, that could be quite a lot of fun, because, you know, we can go ahead and access, like, the Master Cycle Z, or the Master Cycle Zero, I think is what it's called. You know, honestly, like, that's pretty fun. I remember messing around with it, like, a little bit in my original playthrough. And, like, yeah, you get it right near the end of the game. I totally understand. Like, it would be very broken if you got that thing any earlier in the game. It's a lot of fun, but it's kind of a shame how, like, it completely replaces horses in terms of their mechanics. Alright. We'll just make our way through, get Rivali's Gale back, and once that's the case, we'll have a very easy solution to this thing. Did I ever take the quiz to see which Smash characters I remember? No, but I have always thought of doing a video about that, because I know that was like a very popular little trend, if you want to call it that, in the Smash YouTube community for a while. Dead chat. Sometimes it happens. No worries, man. To be fair, there's not quite a lot going on screen. It's just, you know, me getting lost in this labyrinth for about 15 minutes longer than I need to. Oh, hello, treasure chest. Ooh, not a bad weapon indeed. we'll see. I may end up doing a video about that, but part of me feels like the whole trend is kind of finished. Doesn't necessarily mean that the whole thing has to die then and there, but yeah. So I think I've done all the exploring over here that I can for now. Rivali's Gale is nearly fully charged again, and once he gets back, we'll climb our way up, and things will be okay. Man, you gotta love watching a progress bar fill, don't you? If only I had been smart and packed some stamina food. I don't know, I guess kind of the shame with Breath of the Wild 2 is that after you play the game for the first time, you're kind of not shocked by anything anymore. Like, there's the occasional stuff that you learn, you know, through your second playthrough and your playthroughs after that and so forth. But for the most part, it's like, okay, I know what I'm doing in part X, Y, Z now. So they're kind of, you lose the challenge very quickly. Which does suck, because I feel like it kind of deters people from coming back to Breath of the Wild, even though it's such a good game. I literally try to climb in the one spot where there's a ceiling. It's on the left side of the map, yeah. Unfortunately, I did not figure that out in time. Oh, there's Rivali's Gale. That's what I've been waiting for. Alright, let's get out of here. That took a surprisingly long amount of time to cling to the wall somehow. Alright, so now that I have a vantage point from above, I'll just have a quick peek down below, figure out which entrance it is, and we'll make our way through. I believe it's over here if memory serves. Yeah, here we go. Sweet. There's our ladder. Do I think Breath of the Wild 2 will ever come out? I know 100% it's going to come out at some point. You know, I very much doubt that they would want to leave the sequel to one of their, like, most revolutionary games of all time just sitting, you know, to die on the cutting room floor. We will eventually see Breath of the Wild 2. Will it come out this year? That's a better question. I don't personally think we are going to see Breath of the Wild this year. Or, sorry, we're not going to see Breath of the Wild 2 this year. Especially given the fact that they're going to be doing the whole, like, Skyward Sword HD collection, stuff like that. So I highly doubt that we're going to see it this year, but it might be like a early to mid next year, maybe in the worst case like a holiday 2021 or 2022, I suppose, at that point. But we will 100% see it. There's no doubt in my mind about that. I don't think they would tease like a Breath of the Wild sequel and then just be like, yeah, it's not happening. Oh, it's one of the blessing shrines. Do we get anything good out of this? Ooh, okay, some of the barbarian pieces are quite useful. That'll be nice to get a little attack bonus every so often. Getting the full barbarian armor would be a big help. Plus we can always upgrade it, you know, give us a tiny little bit more of defense. That would be quite cool. If we're talking about a game that's ever going to come out, I think it'd probably be a lot better to talk about something like Bayo 3 or Metroid Prime 4. Are those games ever going to release? That is a good question. Because, you know, some of these games we've heard about for years at this point. We've known about the sequel to, you know, the Metroid Prime series. We've known about those games coming out for quite a long time. And it's just a shame that nothing's come of it so far. And, like, as for me, I've never actually even played Metroid Prime before, which is why I'm very intrigued to, like, you know, try it out and see what people really love about the series. Do we get anything nice for destroying the bramble over here? Oh, Pikmin 4 is another one, too, yeah. You know, Pikmin 3 having come out so recently means that I don't think we're going to see Pikmin 4 for quite a while. Oh, I think that was just an alternate way to get in. Whoopsie. So yeah, at least like for the foreseeable future, I don't see either of those games really making the cut. Oh, this is just another Flame Blade. Though I suppose it would technically be a little more beneficial for us to get a fresh one over keeping this old one. Let's get rid of that. You've served us quite well since we got you in Hyrule Castle. I think that's the weapon I've had on me the longest. Let's see. Yeah, we'll get rid of all this here. I will be lightning proof. Yeah, even if Pikmin 3 Deluxe was a port, you know, just the fact that we're seeing some other series getting releases this year means we're probably not going to see their sequels for quite a while. Which is really a shame, though. Like, part of me wants to get into Pikmin, but I also realize that, you know, it was probably best played, like, on the Wii or the Wii U, given the way that the whole series kind of controls. You know, nothing wrong with getting Pikmin 3 Deluxe whatsoever, but just, if it's meant to play in one kind of way, it kind of sucks to have to compromise that. Okay, you know what? I guess we could actually just warp out of here instead of going back to the labyrinth. Maybe just for the sake of fun, we can go ahead and check out the other one too. So I think we'll have to jump down from the tower to get there. Because we are nowhere near a shrine or anything near there that would get us any possible boost. Pikmin 3 Deluxe has better controls, huh? Okay. I mean, if it's better than, let's say, on the Wii U, that could be alright. But as far as I heard, like, a lot of people said that the definitive way to play Pikmin 3 would be, like, you know, using some sort of, like, a Wii remote or, like, an analog to it or something like that. Okay, let's get rid of that pin. Place a new pin in here. The one on the Wii U was weird, huh? I mean, I'm certainly not the best guy in terms of talking about the Pikmin series, the series that I have never personally touched. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm usually pretty open when it comes to different games or trying different games. But usually if it comes to like a series that's been around for a while, I typically like to try like some of the older games first. I would probably try the original Pikmin or something like that before trying to jump into any of the newer games. Oh, if it does have a demo, I could play that too. That's also a good call. Because, you know, the last thing I want to do is shell out, like, you know, 80 Canadian dollars to play a game and just not enjoy it. Yeah, Canadian prices suck ass, man. Being a gamer in Canada is not fun. Ooh, that is some nice gourmet meat if I've ever seen some in the past. Oh, we're near yet another stable. Don't know what you're doing out here in the middle of winter, but keeping things stable for sure. Guys, be sure to like and subscribe for more hilarious content like that in the future. We'll get through another shrine. Hopefully this one isn't going to be like all too difficult. And then I think going forward, I'll try to get some more heart containers, and maybe we can try to get the Master Sword like sometime within the next stream or two. That would be quite fun. Oh, it's another one of these ones, eh? Oh, great. Well, that's not what I wanted. I had the perfect setup, and they were just like, nope, not today. Yeah, I am from Canada. I feel like I don't mention that in like a ton of videos. Oh, I remember this one. Okay. So I cannot speak today. God. I think I have to basically toss this in such a way that I get the ball rolling once I'm standing on the platform. I think that's the way to go. Two different people saying hello from the country below you. That's fair. It's interesting. I feel like a lot of people think that there's a ton of differences between, like, you know, Canada and the US. There really aren't. Like, honestly, I feel like Canada's basically just like, in some respects, it's kind of just shitty US, you know? There's a lot of things that I feel like we miss around here. Especially when it comes to entertainment, like a lot of different TV channels and stuff that are very commonplace in the States are like nowhere to be found near here. But you know, culture-wise, all that kind of stuff, yeah, we're practically one and the same. Except for the topic that nobody likes to delve into, and that's politics. Nobody likes talking about politics. Free healthcare is nice, if you need it, I will say. Alright. Now, Ball, you get us up there. You know, that's the funny thing. Like, living in Canada, growing up in that whole environment or whatever, there are a lot of very smug people that'll just try to be like, oh yeah, well, we're just basically better USA. It's kind of a lost cause when you try to, you know, bring stuff up like that. Ooh, good day. Welcome back. If you were not back, otherwise welcome. I'm in the middle of solving myself a shrine. In all honesty, I might not even go for the chest, just depending on what's in there. If it's nothing important, yeah, we can probably just skip it. Kind of a shame that it doesn't give me that little boost of momentum or anything. Okay. I don't think there are any runes that really help me in this case, so perhaps the smart thing to do would just be to try to bomb myself. Said nobody ever. Nope. Okay. That strategy is not going to work for us unless I, you know, pull things off a little differently. I think the intended path might be something to do with the magnesis blocks here. But just in case I have to get up again, I don't really want to, like, push them out of position. Then again, who am I to say? I thought I could, like, access my memories, like, 7 or 8 different times, and zilch has happened out of that so far. There we go. I don't know, will a jump into a bomb do something? Oh, I did not want to throw that. Whoops. Or I could just be stupid and completely mess it up anyways. Now, that is also key to completing this. There is a thing I can do for extra height. Oh, yeah, the shield jump. I keep forgetting about that. Do I have... Oh, I don't even have one equipped. That explains a lot. Go away. Yeah, that's how you do it. Okay. We'll give it a try. We'll see if that gives me enough height. All hopes that it does, but it's still quite a far gap. Maybe in the worst of cases I can try to see if I have enough range with magnesis? No, not quite, eh? That is tricky. As much as I want to get stuff from the chests, we'll have to see. Oh, that just doesn't get me there, eh? Okay, so I think we might have to develop another strategy here. Unfortunately, whatever I'm doing right now just does not seem to be working. I might be able to cheese this with the shield jump. I think that is correct. And then the question is, I just want to see what the range is here. Because if I can go from here and just move the block... Oh, I can move it from here. That's the key. That's how we do it. Bruh. Okay, I see what I'm doing here. I see where I messed up. Now, I just gotta get myself aimed properly to get this ball coming back. Okay. Without trying to fucking mess this ball up too much. That should get me in. There we go. This is what we needed. So now it won't be perfect, but I think I should at least be able to make the jump if I place this correctly. Something like that. And in the worst case, we have our shield jump too, so we can do that. There we go. That's what we're trying to do. Look at me. Platforming god over here. Oh, and for an ancient core. Okay, at least that wasn't all for waste. Those are not too common. Sweet. Alright, another shrine down. I think this might get us our 4th Spirit Orb. So we could get some more heart containers too. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. Next time we head to any kind of city around there, we'll have to stop and do some praying. And get a little bit of a bonus. Pog indeed. Well, I'm pretty impressed with the progress that we've made so far. Yeah, maybe in the grand scheme of things, that hasn't been like major. We've gotten quite a few, you know, random little side missions done in this thing as well. Yo, give me that wolf link. Unless Wolf Link can't be summoned, which would kind of stink. Oh, there he is. Man, that stable theme. I do like that theme. Okay, we'll keep making our way forward. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. Oh, yo, is he gonna go after the Lizalfos? It certainly looks like it. Oh, that was quite easy. Yo, is Wolflink gonna go and attack the other wolves? Oh, what do we have here? Well, that's certainly not a bad weapon to have at all. It kind of replaces the, God, what do you call it? The Stone Smasher that we had like the last few streams. The one that sadly gave its life, I think, last stream. Oh, what do we have here? Is that a horse that I do see? Oh, just too slow, eh? Nice. Well, there's one dead bokoblin. Even getting some guts too. That's pretty fortunate. Oh, that Stone Smasher, yeah, it quite helpful for us. You know, it's kind of nice that he's like chunking a little bit of the health away. How long will I be playing the game for? Days? More than likely, yeah. I mean, I probably could like up the number of streams too, just depending on you know, what ends up going on. But man, this game definitely has a lot to offer. Okay, I'm gonna ask you to stay for the moment. Oh, yo, look at this little guy. You can just sit here and yawn. Yeah, you know what? I don't think I can decrease my stealth any further. I'm gonna try to get on this horse, and if it's the case, maybe this ends up being the horse for us. Yo, do we get a horse? Is this what's going on? Did we just get a horse? Well, there we go. I would say that that's a little bit of control. I think we got us a horse. And would you look at that? There is a stable right over there. Oh, there we go. Now you've slowed down. There we go. Sweet. Looks like we can even register our horse too.
Aye.
Yes, I do know about the stable system. I don't want to. I don't want to go for an entire thing here. All right, time to register the horse. What do we got here? Good stamina, good strength, good speed. Yo, that's actually not half bad. That's a pretty nice horse for the first time. So I'm not the only one that spams soothe. I didn't know that was what you're supposed to do. I was expecting the horse to very much like rock me off and stuff. Alright, now here comes the question. What do we name the horse? What do we name the horse, folks? We'll have a little debate for the people watching. What are we going to name this horse? I see you in the comments there. No pussy destroying today. It doesn't even fit. There's no way I can fit that many characters. It's what, 9 characters long? It's kind of like sad how limiting they are to the names of the horses, but I get it, you know? You don't need like your entire life story as your horse's name. Let's get some suggestions here, and if there's something that really gels, then let's go for it. We got a beige horse with some white on its butt. Maybe we can make fun of that somehow. We're not doing that name. It doesn't fit. I feel like that was intentional. Wow, I got some haters in these comments. Perhaps we could get a random name generator too, if that's the worst case. I'm gonna go here. Let's just switch over. Let's go and check out common baby names. And we'll randomize one of them. I could not remember if the horse was male or female. What year did Breath of the Wild come out? Let's go 2017. Alright, let's go have a look at some names. Should name it Little Z. Little Z the horse. What do we got? We don't want too common of a name. I don't remember if Does the game distinguish between male and female horses? Because if that does, that depends, that'll change the name that I want to give it. If it doesn't, then I guess we can kind of just flip heads or tails depending on the gender. Little J, that sounds like something I'd give another name for. If you know what I mean. No. I don't think it lets us see the horse either. Yeah, I think I'm stuck in this dialogue box till I figure something out. Name it Richard and call it by its nickname. Perhaps that could work. Let's look up a... What did I select here? The top 500 names? I'm curious to see what some of these very uncommon names are, because I highly doubt we're going to get something like in the top whatever. All right. We'll do 5 presses of the RNG just to make sure it's not broken. On the 5th number, I think that's the name I'll give it. So number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so what is 297? All right, let's find 297. You, Christian? My apologies if anyone's named Christian, but that's not a great name for a horse. How is Maximiliano a more popular name than Christian? Excuse me? That is a name? What the hell? Am I seeing this right? Like, what? That is so weird. Maybe that's not the strategy. All right, we'll give it one more random number generator. 272. What do we got here? Tanner. That's such a bad name for a horse. Although Giselle is a better name. That's the 273rd most popular female name. That actually kind of works, though. Oh, it says... Wait, what? What on earth was that name again? Christian? Is that actually how it's supposed to say? Because I feel like most people would just say Christian. Either way, I think I've made up my mind. As odd of a name as that is. Oh, hey, that's actually a pretty good pun. I do like that suggestion. We'll go with Giselda. Look at that. It's even a punny name. I appreciate the pun. Oh. There we go. Would I like to take my new horse with me? Yeah, sure. It's a quicker way of traveling it. Oh, if we get another... if we get another horse, we'll call it the Stone Smasher. That could actually be a fun one. Yo, let's sue the hell out of this horse and get going. This feels very bizarre. Oh, hold up. I see quite a lot of wood over here. This saves us quite a lot of time in collecting some wood. And just a random double axe? Yeah, nothing really much here. So, do I get to travel with both my horse and with the wolf now? Because that's pretty cool. I got like an entire squad pulling up, coming to beat up Zelda. Beat up... Oh, God, I can't even speak. Beat up Ganondorf. It's not even Ganondorf in this game. What am I saying, my dude? Yo, if I run into this pig, does he just die? Yo, look at that! And what's that dismount animation? That's pretty sick. Yeah, no. Who needs Zelda? No more Zelda. We already have our Zelda. I will admit, this feels a little bit unintuitive, because I was never one to really use the horses too much in my first playthrough. So I will definitely be literally learning the ropes of this horse. On my way to this, what do you call it, the labyrinth. Oh, if there's also a shrine in the distance, we might as well try to get that one too. Beat up Zelda, yeah. That's what we're gonna be doing. Savior? Who needs a savior? Oh, hello, Moose. I totally think we can catch up to this moose. Ooh. That dealt a little damage to him. Oh, that actually did. Sick. Yo, is the wolf gonna beat on the cleese? Let's hope so. Bye-bye. Yo, is this literally like Smash Bros, like having to mash out of that? Yo, we make a pretty damn good combination, me and that wolf. I don't know, maybe this was stretching it a little bit in terms of like how overpowered this whole team would be, but you know what? Just for the sake of enjoyment and for fun, this has definitely been quite worth it. Oh, is that a Lionel? That is 100% a Lionel. I do not want to be facing that guy right now. I'm still learning how horseback works. Imagine if you can switch arrows in Smash. I definitely think Link should have taken more Breath of the Wild design hints, because, like, yeah, it's great and all. Oh, I guess that just puts me right back on the horse. Like, you know, yeah, it's great that, you know, there are some Breath of the Wild, like, design inspirations and stuff, like the way he looks in the game and the remote bombs. But, like, I feel like they could have done so much more to interpret, like, this specific version of Link, you know? They give him access to some of the runes. I still don't understand why, like, Revali's Gale wasn't his recovery move or something like that. There's a lot that they definitely could have done. And it's a shame that we're likely not ever going to see it. Well, just for the sake of getting this one nice and quickly, we are going to very quickly rise this thing up to the top and then switch over to stasis. There we go. That was a little bit of tight timing. Oh, sweet. Well, there's a key to get through this, this thing. I honestly completely forgot about the whole key mechanic. Oh. I guess that's it. Well, we can try to get the other chests, too. That would be quite helpful. I'm surprised that you can actually just, like, you know, beat this shrine so dang easily. Fire arrows act like young links, ice arrows like PK Freeze, and lightning arrows like ZSS. Oh, that could be cool. Yeah, maybe giving like a ZSS type stun might be a little much. But I definitely see where you're coming from. I definitely think that they could have done a little bit more in terms of Breath of the Wild's shrines. Oh, what am I doing? Yeah, that's gonna come falling right down now, isn't it? It certainly saddens me. Or, like, you know, even if they were gonna redesign Mario with some, like, Odyssey-themed, you know, extra bonus features and stuff, it's really weird how they just kind of started and ended that entire conversation with Cappy. So, like, wait, what was the point of this? Were these platforms literally just supposed to hold it in place so you could jump down? That's so weird when you already have stasis. I don't know why that would necessarily be a challenge. Oh, another broadsword could be quite nice. Those have been quite handy lately. So I think I might just have to get rid of the Moblin Club. As much as I like some of these big, heavier weapons, I think it's also really nice to have some, like, high-damaging, like, single-handed weapons. Alright, let's get us another shrine. How many have we completed so far? I think we're probably at least in the 30s, maybe even the 40s by now. 40 might be stretching it, though. Nice. We get to create elixirs by mixing animal parts together. That sounds appetizing as all hell. Yeah, that's true. I've never really been a big fan of the Mario finale. Like, I understand why they would, you know, sort of give it to Mario. It just kind of seems like a generic enough Mario move. But it's like, it's never been anything that he's done in a game outside of Smash. It's one of those weird, like, Smash original design elements that just kind of makes me question what they were thinking. Oh, you know what? I think if I put this stone back in the line or something, does that not give me a Korok seed? Or am I just seeing things here? Oh, they can pick them up? Well, hey, I'll take some rupees. That's so neat. I didn't know they did that. Yo, where are those arrows? Give me some of those arrows. Yo, is that like... Is that Moblin still alive just without his head? That's so weird, man. There we go. And you are dead. We'll pick up some of our monster parts and we'll move on here. Throw it in if it hits someone, you capture them for a while. That could actually be a really neat mechanic, I feel. Like, to put into Smash Bros. I know in the past they've done, like what is it? Like, Manaphy Heart Swap or something was one of them that you could do. Where you would just, like, switch control of characters or something. I think that was in Smash 4, if I remember. It's certainly an interesting enough mechanic, and I think there's room for it to actually grow and stuff, but I don't know. I feel like implementing something like that in a moveset would be really difficult. You know, unless Cappy was like some sort of transition to like a cut style, like, you know, scene. Okay, so I guess I didn't even need to do that anyways. I could have just completely gone around here and just walked right into the labyrinth. But that was smart of me. Now my whole squad's gone. Now it's just me all alone. I mean, I hope it realizes that I know there's a shrine nearby. Well, those are some creepy looking horses there. If it's a final smash, it'd be okay to make it overpowered. I guess that's kind of true. I do honestly kind of wonder how they design some of these final smashes, because like I think they have to know that some competitive players really just don't take them all too seriously. A lot of people will never really see them in the first place. So that's kind of curious to me, at least. Okay, is there an easily targetable thing around here? Not really, eh? I don't 100% remember the way to get in. But I guess we'll just have to do a little bit of exploring. I think I have enough stamina to be able to climb up over this stuff. I don't really feel like spending an entire Rivali's Gale on this right now. There we go. We completely avoided this Ganon gunk, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if it has a name or not. I'm just going to go with Ganon gunk, because that sounds incredibly cursed. Plus, if there's ever, like, any random little treasures and something we find in here, that could always be quite useful. Though so far, this one seems to be like a barren wasteland. Oh. Yo, what on earth is this? I don't even remember Octoroks being able to do this. Well, at least we got a few rupees for our troubles. Better than nothing, I suppose. Nothing back here, yeah. It's kind of a shame, like, these labyrinths are genuinely an interesting idea, but I feel like they don't fill them with much. Except for, like, random little low-level enemies that I could probably just take out in a couple swacks with my sword, you know? That would sound like a weird plot to explain. Oh, for sure. Oh, wait, did we get something in here? Oh, this is just a treasure room. Okay. Either way, little treasure, nothing too bad. Yo, we're getting even closer to being able to buy our own property. Oh, is this actually just the entrance? It certainly looks like it. If not, then we're very close by. Let's try to climb around here and see what happens. That certainly looks like the way through. I might just need to find my way out of that pile of sludge. Otherwise, I don't see a purpose for why that thing is there. That certainly sounds like quite a strange plot there. I'm sure you can find that on some obscure websites. You know what? It's now or never. We'll just use a Rivali's Gill. Let's climb up to the top of this labyrinth, scale the thing, and hopefully I can just find the entrance from up here somewhere. Oh, there's quite a lot in there. But then again, I don't know if that's quite the correct way to get through. If there was like an obvious sign, maybe. Oh, there's a little chest in here in case you were curious enough to try to get in from the other direction. Oh, getting a diamond, that's quite nice. That'll be a pretty penny. Or is this the entrance? That certainly looks like an entrance material to me. Perhaps that was not the right course of action. Oh yeah, I just can't make it through this at all. Yikes. Well, that was some unnecessary hearts taken. Like, honestly, I think I just need to find the eye to get through here. Because this very much looks like it's the right spot. Yeah, you know what? I'll go in... I don't know why Link decided to randomly just spin in a circle. Why not, right? You're on a life-risking adventure to try to save the princess. Why not just waste a couple minutes? Might as well. Not like there's any pressing matters going on right now. It's strange. I just feel like there's one very obvious, like, something that I'm missing here. Oh, sweet, some ice arrows. Somehow I got more of those on me than I do just regular arrows. I don't know how that came to be, but I guess I'll take it. Any interesting stuff in here? Not really. Man, I'm a little stumped. I might need to get some Rivali's Gale coming back soon. I guess the one last spot I could try to go in would be through the little entrance over here. There's a little bit of backtracking, but I can certainly make it through. I mean, what kind of Zelda game has no backtracking, am I right? Haha, gotcha. This video has been sponsored by no one. I'm getting completely lost here. I certainly hope that my segues to ad sponsorships will improve, if those things ever come to fruition. Oh yeah, this is the way. This is not the way. This is our ticket out of here. Well, too bad that shield is a load of poop. I'm not going to be saving that up anytime soon.
It is my pleasure.
Oh, there's quite a few Lizalfos in here, which means this is probably the way out. What on earth was that? Yo, did that Flurry Rush just completely mess up on me? Also, I don't know how he's exactly getting into the wall, but sure. Man, I need to increase some of my armor. Okay. Let's eat up here. The last thing I want to do is, like, die unnecessarily here. Any, like, quick something that I can just chew on? As much as I would prefer to cook it, I guess I could just eat some raw meat after all. Ooh, taking him down. Nice. Ooh, that is a pretty good Edge of Duality, but I think we already have a couple of pretty decent swords on our arsenal already. Yeah, the Royal Claymores are just straight up better. Man, that's a shame, because that could have been a very good weapon through a good chunk of this playthrough. Okay, I think I'll drop my old bow, pick this one up. Oh, that's much better, yeah. Look at that. Why did I decide to start making YouTube videos? I mean, at first that was kind of just more like a passion project of mine, I guess. Like, you know, just something to do during the pandemic. I always kind of wanted to make YouTube videos at some point in my life. But this was kind of just like, you know, the best time for it, I guess. I didn't really quite know what I was doing at first, but, you know, it's been a fun ride for sure. Like, all the time I've been doing this, yeah, I wouldn't give up this experience for anything. 'Cause it's been quite a lot of fun, you know, getting started with YouTube and all that. I didn't even think I'd, you know, get to the point that I'm at right now within, like, a year of doing YouTube, but, geez, here we are now, right? It's crazy how much, you know, your opinions and whatever can change over time. And I mean, if anybody ever is interested, I would just highly recommend it in general, you know, because it's great to make something, and even if it's not seen by a whole lot of people, it's just nice to know that there's like some part of you out there that could have an impact on people. Like, it's really cool. It's humbling to hear from people saying like, "Oh, your videos have like helped me get better at character X, Y, and Z." It's like, that's pretty damn neat. That's, you know, something I never thought I would hear anybody say about something that I made. And yeah, like, you know, of course there is always the very obvious, like, oh, I want to make YouTube videos just to get rich and famous. Like, I don't know. If you go into it with that mentality, like, I don't think anything's ever going to really take off, help you out.
Rivali's Gale is now ready.
I mean, geez, I still think of myself as pretty new. I still think I make, like, you know, way more mistakes than I need to when it comes to some of my videos. Yeah, and I mean, like, you know, YouTube is a free service, you know, everybody has the ability to, like, at least try it once in their lives. So I see no reason why not to, you know? Is this the way through, or did I just get baited? I just got baited. Or there is, like, a very common mentality about some people, too, where they're just like, oh yeah, making YouTube videos isn't that hard at all. I could do it in my sleep. You know, it takes more than you'd think to actually do YouTube correctly. Because, you know, everybody who has the ability to make a YouTube video, like, that's great and all, but I don't know, it's a very different story when it comes to making a good YouTube video. I still don't know if I've really struck one yet, but we're always trying. There we go. That took long enough, but we made it through. We got our shrine. And that's the important part. I think we just get a blessing out of this. I mean, more than likely anyways. We might get another piece of the barbarian equipment if I remember correctly. That would be quite nice. Oh, there we go. We got the barbarian legs. No, I'm not doing it correctly. I'm just trying to show stuff. Fair enough. I sometimes doubt if I do anything correctly. I can look back on any number of videos of mine and just be like, man, I really wish I did that differently, or I did this differently, you know? I guess that's just kind of part of, you know, being human, having some, like, humble, whatever personality of yours. You know, don't go into it thinking like, oh, I'm the best of all time. I'm certainly not the best of all time. Yeah, that's true. I think, like, you know, even if you have a really great video idea and you don't pull it off too well, that's okay. Because there's always a chance to remake it later once you've learned more. Like, I've been thinking about it for a while, and I think what I feel like I want to end up doing, at least for, like, my 1-year anniversary on YouTube, is just try to remake my original video. And just see, like, you know, how would I have changed things? What kind of scenario can I set up, you know? Because when I made that very first video, like, the every frame in midair gets cut. As much as I really liked making that video, I also, like, cannot watch that video at all for the life of me. Because every time I just look at it, I'm just like, damn, there's a mistake. There's something I should have fixed. Ooh, raining terror from above. Oh, jeez. Well, okay, apparently that was not smart. I didn't realize that I would actually just, like, completely bot myself by doing that. Oh my god. Why do I do that to myself? Why? Glitches are cool even if the quality sucks. That's my technical first video. I'm certainly not doing the, I'm not going to redo the when you come to the wrong hood video. That was honestly just something dumb that I made in my spare time. Oh, welcome. I'm glad you stumbled across me, because, no, I mean, I do know of some of the glitches in Breath of the Wild, I just don't really know how to perform them all that well. Like, yeah, there's, you know, stuff like wind bombing and whistle running, whatever you want to call it. I'm just not particularly good at it. I'm very casual when it comes to Breath of the Wild. But yeah, not remaking that video at all. That was, honestly, that video was just kind of a one-off thing just to use up my capture card, because I got that, like, way before I started making videos. I honestly just wanted to see what I could do with it and, like, what kind of stuff it would bring to me, see if I could get more creative with it. It took a while for me to get a microphone, but that eventually came. And, you know, this microphone, like, it's not a big name brand, whatever. It's honestly just whatever the hell Amazon had. But for what it's worth, like, getting a good mic actually really increases the quality of your videos regardless of what you yourself do. Oh, well, that's just great. The thing that I wanted to do was just drop all my weapons. Well, I might die in this, oh no, I guess not, okay. I guess he used up his electric charge. That's, the last thing I wanted to have done to me there. Okay, we'll just keep using the boomerang for now. It's a nice light weapon. Nothing quite like it, you know? And that's what we like here. And I'm getting a lot of choo-choo jelly. I don't know how useful, like, any of this stuff is until, it comes to, like, you know, maybe making elixirs and stuff like that. But just any extra stuff that I can get for now is well worth it. Anything interesting in this chest? Oh, it's another night shield. Okay. You know, I could probably just ditch the one I'm using now since I've done so much damage to it already. I'm very set on shields, honestly. Look at that. You've served me well, shield, but don't quite need you right now. Where else can we go just to spend a little bit more time? I'm probably just going to go until 10 my time, so like another half hour or so. Where else can we go around here? Maybe we can try to just get a couple more towers done. Do I watch PK Beats? I watch him occasionally. Like, I don't know if I'm subscribed to him. It's kind of funny. Like, YouTubers are always like, yo, be sure to subscribe and blah, 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 right? The majority of YouTubers that I find myself watching right now, like, I'm not even subscribed to them. I honestly just get recommended so much of their stuff from YouTube's algorithm that, like, there's no point. And I know that's very shameful from up-and-coming YouTuber with 7K subs or whatever. I know that's probably like the most hypocritical shit you've ever heard of, but like, I don't know, it's just really weird. I don't find myself subscribing to as many people as I used to back when, you know? And not to mention on top of that, there's also like, you know, just so many YouTubers out there now that I'm finding myself watching different content than I used to, and a lot of the creators that I am subscribed to, I don't really watch their videos anymore. Okay, Mr. Savage. That means you gotta keep watching the videos, though. That's our deal. If you unsub, you still have to watch the videos. That way I can flash up every graphic that says, did you know that only 5% of my audience is subscribed to my channel? I poke fun at it, but I get why people do it. I know, it's fun. There's nothing more immersion breaking than just like, hey, did you know that, you know, you're not subscribed to my channel? Well, you should be. Do I have a secondary and ultimate? Not anyone solid per se. Like, I randomly test around characters just to make the combo videos that I do. So, you know, I mean, I main Banjo, obviously, just from... you could probably tell from the channel branding or, like, looking at any one of my random videos where I talk about Smash. In terms of secondaries, honestly, I just kind of fiddle around with everyone else on the roster. Like, I have been trying to get into, like, learning Terry and Corrin and Cloud and stuff like that. I don't consider myself much of a Corrin main anymore, even though I did main her back in Smash 4, but I don't know, the character just feels so different to her previous iteration that it almost feels like playing two completely separate characters. Oh, wait a second. Oh, this may not be exactly the mission that I thought it was. Oh, I remember this one. Okay, so this is like the 3 Hinoxes one, is it not? There's like 3 Hinoxes just around here. I don't remember like a whole lot about Breath of the Wild, or at least like far less than I think I'm letting myself think. Okay, let's climb up here, get a little vantage point. Can I see the tower from here? No, I cannot. I don't even remember where the tower in this part of the world is located, to be honest with you. But for now, we'll just keep exploring a little bit. Perhaps we'll go over to the shrine here. I don't know, man. Like, I don't play Smash Bros. Like, all too competitively or anything. I do just enjoy, like, hopping on and playing, like, random ass, you know. Well, let's do random dittos just to see what I get. And there's a lot of times where I'm really surprised, and, like, there's a lot of diversity in Smash Bros. That I feel like not a lot of people really consider, you know? Again, like, I've teased it enough, I guess, right? There probably will come a video somewhere down the line where I talk about, here's why I think Smash DLC should stop pumping out new characters. Because, like, there are already so many damn characters in the game, right? Who even knows what Lucario does, you know? I don't know, there's a whole lot of very, like, unexplored characters in Smash, and the fact that people are still so insistent of, like, no, but we need more characters. I feel like Smash Ultimate, especially, is, like, the last game that needs more characters. Is it another bra moment? Perhaps. I know a lot of people are very excited by, like, what characters can make it into Smash, and that is, like, an aspect of it I like. I don't know. I'm very torn about it, because there are a lot of characters that I feel like nobody ever really touches, you know? It's just, it's such a shame, too, because there are a lot of really cool characters that, you know, they don't quite get the same spotlight. There's obviously, like, you know, there are bad characters that people enjoy playing. A character like Ganondorf, for example, right? Or like King K. Rool. They're fun to play. But then there are, like, the half-decent characters that everyone just thinks are bland or really just don't remember anything about. Like, I don't see a lot of people talking about Wii Fit Trainer. I don't see a lot of people talking about Rob. And it's weird, because I feel like Ultimate's balanced very well as a game. So, like, when it comes to tier lists and stuff, they're very much arbitrary, because there are not a whole lot of differences between, like a B and a C tier. And the fact that so many pro players have, you know, so many differing opinions on where characters lie and which characters have good matchup against who, you know? It's very crazy. I feel like most Smash games in the past, you would have had like a very definitive, this is the tier list. But, you know, something like that in Ultimate is like next to impossible to come up to. So from that perspective, yeah, I 100% think like Smash is already a pretty good game, and every character that they add is just like another character on the roster, you know? And as much as some people think that we might see even more Smash content after Fighters Pass 2, I think that's probably going to be it. Like, even the fact we got a second Fighters Pass, at least in my opinion, is kind of like a surprise, I guess is the best way I could say it. Oh, a modest test of strength. Well, perhaps I can modestly test myself. I feel like this probably shouldn't be too bad. Let's see, what you got, my dude? Ooh, come at me. Come at me. Ooh. That really doesn't feel like it was like a flurry rush moment, but eh. I'm already so damn desperate for this kind of stuff, I will take it. That's a flurry rush moment if I've ever seen one. Oh, interesting, okay. I know sometimes there can be a little bit of lag between like comments showing up and when they're actually commented. I don't think that's so much like anything that I can particularly do about it. I think that more just has to do with OBS. Yo, come at me. Come at me. Maybe don't come at me. Oh, weird. This might just be a weird, like, YouTube thing, too. YouTube is not the perfect website by any means. I think we can all sort of admit that. Somewhere in our hearts, we all know. Okay, let's just maybe eat a little bit of meat, heal up a little bit. Looks like we don't have Mipha's grace to fall back on. Alright, well, to answer your question, let's see. Which characters do I think are never played? I mean, most of the characters that I mentioned I would put under the camp of, like, kind of obscure, not a lot of people play them. So, I mean, like, Rob, Lucario, Wii Fit, at least as far as I know. Nobody touches Olimar. Nobody is, like, unironically a Min Min main. Maybe that's a little superfluous, I don't know. Min Min is not the most beloved of characters. You know what? I'm dumb. I'm quite stupid. I didn't realize that I had a two-handed sword, which is why all these attacks just seem to be hitting me now. Yo, come at me. Well, there goes that Royal Claymore. Okay, we might have to start using the broadswords. I might have just been, like, outside of the range of that attack there, but that definitely seems like it could have been a, one of those moments where I think something should have hit it. Alright, come on. Don't be a coward. See, what on earth was that? How on earth did I get hit by that? Oh, you're really gonna charge at me, are you? You're gonna hit yet another pillar. Okay, maybe we'll switch to bomb arrows for this portion of the fight. Yo, give me your eye, my dude. Perhaps not the smartest idea of me to do that. Oh, is that it? That is it. Sweet. Let's see, what's weird is that Rob himself is not a toxic character, but for some reason every Rob main is just a bad person. I mean, I can kind of agree with that. I don't think Rob is necessarily, like, super overpowered or broken or anything like that. I think there's just a lot of people that play Rob really lame and just spam side B. I'm not really one to talk because I'm kind of one of those people. That's all I know how to do with the character, like, at all. I don't know, I think he's perfectly fine and, like, you know, well suited to the game. Hopcat said something about it, they're just not nice people. Yeah, that's quite fair. I like playing Rob for, you know, the occasional fight that I actually use him in. Just don't typically use them very often. Can nest mains be cool? I've never come across a cool nest main. And that might just be from personal bias. I don't know. I don't particularly mind nests like too much. I know there's a lot of people that really hate on just whoever you main. Anybody you main's gonna get you some hate no matter what. I mean, I've never come across like a hype nest player before. I've always just come across the like little brother spam PK fire kind of nests. Even though Ness has a lot of potential, I just feel like the majority of people don't see it that way. Well, I guess I probably should have called this stream anything but Korok Hunters, because we really haven't come across any Korok seeds at all. I found, what, one at the beginning of the stream? Whatever, I guess you can call this one clickbait. As if I was going to conform to what you guys were going to say. Yeah, right. Interesting. This definitely feels like a shrine that should have had some kind of a difficult puzzle related to it or whatever. But I kind of just skipped over it by flying to it. Oh, you know what? I remember this now. Yeah, I would need a Korok leaf to get this one done, because I don't think I'm necessarily going to make this time trial just by using default link. As fun as that would try to be, I don't really want to drown. And swimming in Breath of the Wild is probably one of the worst mechanics in the entire game. Alright, so we got a major test of strength that I'm going to completely avoid because I'm not ready for that yet. Oh, you know what? We said we were going to do some stuff with Koroks. I guess we can, at the very least, try to get the Hestu challenge completed. Now, I don't remember if he's outside of Kakariko Village the first time you see him. I don't remember if he's, like, on the way in from the bottom or from the top. But either way, I'll just go through both of them and just see, you know, where I can find Hestu. We'll try to increase our inventory slots a little bit, and then once that whole thing is done, that's probably going to end up being the end of the stream. Just as a little heads up. Okay, where's my path out of here? It's up here, isn't it? Or does that not just bring me to the Great Fairy Fountain? I think it does. So it's either at the entrance or exit, like somewhere around here. So perhaps I shall stop just speculating and just make my way down there regardless. I came across that shrine at the beginning, got absolutely obliterated. Yeah, when they say a major test of strength, they don't fool around. It very much is like if you stumble across one of those at the beginning of the game, you're like on your own. It's funny, I don't really remember like coming across this part of Hyrule. Maybe it was like something that was like a one-shot, like never really come here again sort of thing after Hestu. Unless he was from the other side. I still won't know that one quite yet. I don't really think I have anything that would help prevent that. So let's just toss a bomb at it. Can we get anything cool either? I can't even tell. Oh, just some rock salt. I don't even need to bother with these guys. I'm just going to go all the way through. Every Smash character Discord has some angry person hating on their character. Yeah, that's the thing. Smash Bros. Is very much one of those games where it's like, you very much band to one side or the other. Which is understandable. I don't really mind that whole aspect. And like, being able to choose different mains with different abilities and stuff like that is part of the fun of the game. What you got, dude? What kind of stuff might I want from you? I think for now I'm okay, man. Like, I wouldn't remove that aspect from Smash, because at the end of the day, like, part of the fun part of Smash is just seeing how a certain character gets represented, you know? Oh, there's Hestu. There's our boy. While we're here, since I can see another shrine over in the distance... Oh, I already had that one mapped down. Very neat. Alright, let's get your maracas back, my dude. There's a pinned message in the Icy's Discord of a Ken main calling to nerf the Icy's because they're brain dead. Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of thing. There's fair criticism of like a character in Smash, and then there's just like the assholey like, oh, you know, I can't figure out my way around character XYZ, therefore everyone who plays that character is bad and should feel bad. Yeah, that's so how this works, right? Sweet. Alright, that was some pretty easy maracas, especially because, you know, I've already completed so much of the game before getting them. I'm pretty sure the first time I played Breath of the Wild, this was like one of the first things I did. And then I remember him being like a super important part of the game and whatnot. I don't know, there's petty stuff like that I just don't really agree with, which, like, come on. It's not that hard. You just gotta learn to mix your shit up, you know? And I don't necessarily think there's any brain-dead character, like, you know, spam a single move and that's all that ever works. There's a lot of nuance to, like, a ton of different characters, even characters who generally get played spammy. And I think Ness is probably, like, the best example of that kind of thought. Yo, and take your maracas, my dude. Yo, I got Korok seeds right here, my dude. Take them. Yo, take my seed. Let's increase the shield, for sure. What an epic dance. I don't want to know what he did at the end there. That's kind of messed up. Okay, we'll get some more weapons. I don't think we need to watch this cutscene every time. That would probably get quite annoying very fast. Alright, so I guess that's all the upgrades that we can do for now. Next time we see Hestu, my dude is going to be over in the Korok Forest, which is in the Lost Woods. So I think that's probably somewhere we're going to have to head sometime soon. You know, on top of just having to go there to get the Master Sword, it's also kind of nice to get our inventory slots expanded a little bit. But perhaps we'll end off the stream. We'll just finish up with the shrine that we see over here. And I will have to mark this shrine down too. On top of the Dueling Peaks, I believe, is where those are. Yeah, that's the one. Oh, this might be an area where there's one of Link's memories. If I remember. If I actually remember to get those done, we will do them. I'll have to look up how to figure that out, and, you know, we'll just have to see. Yo, I don't even need to worry about these choo-choos. Hey, get out of my face, man. Well, that's another stable found. Pretty sweet. That means we can just access our horse from even more places. And I'd say, all things considered, we're doing fairly well in terms of, you know, we got 2 stamina wheels already. We got a ton of heart containers. We're bound to get more eventually. I see. So this one you have to get up and above using Cryonis. If there's anything I do really appreciate about Breath of the Wild, it's how much creativity you can squeeze out of 4 little tiny mechanics like this. I say little tiny as if they have absolutely nothing to do with the game, but like, I don't know. They're 4 very simple things that really expand what you can do with this world. And I appreciate that. Ah, this is one of the water shrines. Okay. So I think we're definitely going to make use out of Cryonis here. That was just the tip of the iceberg. Ha! Be sure to like and subscribe, everybody. For all that it's worth, this is actually a really cool shrine. Like, just showing how much you can possibly do with Cryonis. Ooh, that may not be the one. Maybe right there. Perhaps a tiny bit earlier. Or maybe not. Alright, there's got to be a better way to do this. Oh, I just need to jump off of one little Cryonis pillar here. I think that should do it. Oop. Oh, look at that. That is perfection. Na. Sweet. Alright, well that wasn't too bad at all. Let's grab our Spirit Orb, and I think we'll have to wrap it up after this. So what does that get us to now? I think we're nearly at 8. Oh, that was actually number 8. Sweet. Alright, so next stream, we'll have to probably increase some of our heart containers, which would be pretty nice. And getting a little bit more health will definitely be helpful during the moments when I kind of get brain dead and forget what I'm doing on the stream. But yeah, that'll probably do it for tonight. Got a little bit of progress in. We are 32 shrines into the game. You know, going at this rate, of course, probably going to be a little bit slower, but we may not have done like an entire Divine Beast tonight, but we still got quite a lot of progress done, which I'm very appreciative of. So I guess quickly, just before I finish up here, I'll try to have something posted for tomorrow. I don't 100% know if I'll have it up on time, but worst case, you'll probably get it, if not tomorrow, on Tuesday. Probably new combo quickie on Thursday, and then we'll probably get back to some, you know, regular old uploads starting the week after. Because I don't have a whole lot prepared, and I had like no time to do anything else this week. After trying to get those 2 videos out, yeah, I just kind of crashed and burned after that. But that is okay. Because we had some fun tonight, and that's what matters at the end of the day, isn't it? Anyways, appreciate you guys for tuning into the stream. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to like, subscribe, do all the fun YouTube-y things. You know, the things that everyone tries to tell you to do. But actually do it to me this time, because, you know, subscribers, view time, they're always appreciated. So, I guess until the next stream, which may either be tomorrow or next week, we'll have to see how it goes. Take care and thanks for watching. We'll be seeing you around soon.